Welcome to my channel. In my channel, you can watch various type of fiction and fantasy audiobook. If you want more video like this, please subscribe my channel.
Rimuru, the Dragon King of Another World. Part 2. It's Xiao Mo. Are you sad because your destined person is about to pass away? Wang Yimo sat beside Rimuru. Maybe. I've just been thinking a lot because of Shizu. You, Beldora, Rigard, Rigyur, Gobta, Gobuzu, Kaijin, and the others, I'm just wondering if you might leave me too. Rimuru, we will eventually have to say goodbye, it's a mandatory course in life. Since we've known the ending all along, why not enjoy the time before the parting comes? Even if the end of the world were to come tomorrow, I would still want to stay with the people I love and those who love me. I wouldn't be sad, because at least I had them. I would wear my favorite clothes and welcome my own farewell in the best possible way. Wang Yimo smiled, his expression tinged with a self-destructive madness. Rimuru, at least before Shizu leaves, she has us and she has happiness. She has no regrets. So do I. If I leave before you, as long as you remember me, I will live in your heart forever. I don't want you to sing dirges in front of my tombstone, I want you to remember our adventure with laughter. I want to be remembered in that way. Wang Yimo's expression was calm. Don't talk nonsense, Xiao Mo. I won't let you die before me. We all have to live well. All of us, you, me, Beldora, everyone, we all have to. Promise me, okay. Rimuru looked at Wang Yimo, afraid that this guy might be having dark thoughts. Okay, Rimuru, I promise you. I'll promise you anything. Wang Yimo smiled, looking at Rimuru, who was full of sincerity and doting affection. At night, a memory flashed through Rimuru's mind. You promised me. You promised me. This strange vision again. Rimuru had asked Great Sage, but Great Sage couldn't answer. Rimuru didn't dare to let his guard down. No, I will definitely change it. Xiaomo will be fine, absolutely fine. Deep down, Rimuru kept consoling himself and set a goal. No matter what, he would protect Xiaomo. Then I'll head to Dworgen first to see the Dwarf King. After all, we can't just enter and exit the Dwarf Kingdom as we please. Wang Yimo stood up, dusted himself off, and summoned Tragan, preparing to leave. Okay, BCA, refill on the way. Rimuru hadn't finished saying the word, careful, before Wang Yimo had already flown away. Tragan flew very fast. For the past few days, he had also been accompanying Shizu as she walked around. In his heart, he didn't want them to part either. Soon, the man and the dragon arrived at the city gate of Dworgen. Seeing the flying dragon and its rider, the soldiers immediately sounded the alarm. After all, it was the middle of the night, and they didn't know what the visitor wanted. Gazel and the Pegasus Legion scrambled into the air and arrived at the gate to see who it was. An old acquaintance. Gazel rubbed his temples. Jupiter, why are you here? Do you want to fight me? I'd love to, but I can't. It's like this. I have a human friend who is about to pass away. She's never been here before, so I want to bring her to see it. Rimuru and a few others are coming along too. Is that all? That's all. Then couldn't you have sent someone to let us know? The shadow guards had been observing them, although from a distance. They're too slow. As soon as he finished speaking, a shadow guard arrived to deliver the news. Well, Wang Yimo spread his hands. Tisk, I approve. Don't make such a big commotion next time. Unexpectedly, Gazel agreed just like that. Wang Yimo was happy. He bowed to Gazel and said, thank you. I owe you one. Gazel paused for a moment. He hadn't expected Wang Yimo's intentions to be so simple. He smiled. It seemed there wasn't much need for surveillance anymore. I'm not a heartless person. Gazel waved his hand and left. What do you think of him now, Delph? Gazel asked. If this is an act, then it's terrifying. If it's not, I think you will become good friends. Delph chuckled. He had never seen such a powerhouse before. He was very genuine, yet felt fake in this world. His emotions were real, but he himself didn't seem to belong to this world. The shadow guards brought back detailed intelligence. Just as Wang Yimo had said, this was only for a friend he had just met. It was hard to believe, yet one couldn't help but envy the sincere and passionate friendship among these guys. Throughout the night, in places Shizu didn't know about, everyone was busy. The trio wrote letters. Rimuru rushed to process government affairs. Wang Yimo was rushing back. The Kaijin brothers modified the carriage for comfort. Rigurd arranged the food and drinks for the road. The goblin chefs swung their spatulas. Rigyur and Gobta patrolled the route several times. But all of this was done silently. Who would have thought that such treatment, for Wang Yimo and Rimuru, was just for a fellow traveler from another world they had just met? For the trio, it was just for a teammate of a few days' friendship. For the monsters, it was just for a friendly visitor. Shizu was a kind person, and her kindness was rewarded with everyone's goodwill. That's just how simple and passionate these emotions were. Not far from the village, Wang Yimo watched everyone busy at work and smiled. This kind of goodwill was exactly what he longed for most. Shizu actually knew that everyone was busy for her sake, but she really didn't want to stay anymore. In Shizu's eyes and heart, their silence was more moving than any sound. With tears in her eyes, Shizu wrote letters to everyone, her farewell to them. The next day, seeing that everyone didn't look very energetic, Shizu smiled. Seeing each other's expressions, everyone smiled tacitly. The warmth of this smile infected Wang Yimo. It seemed that a seed named warmth was deeply buried in his heart, finding an anchor for his soul. The wolf carriage was driven by Ranga himself as the lead wolf. The interior space was large enough for Rimuru, the three members of Ellen's group, and Shizu to sit. Outside were Gobta and the Starwolf Knights of Rigyur. Rigurd was at home handling matters. Kaijin was temporarily unable to return due to the king's orders. Wang Yimo was patrolling the perimeter, riding Tragon, warding off any anomalies. Inside the wolf carriage, everyone was laughing and chatting, telling jokes off and on. Looking at the beautiful scenery outside the carriage window and the people who had been busy for her, tears of happiness flowed from Shizu's eyes. What's wrong, Shizu? Are you unhappy? Ellen and the others were very nervous. No, it's just that I'm too happy. When I came to this world, no one cared about me. It was you who helped me rediscover the warmth of being human. Shizu wiped away her tears and said with a smile. Everyone laughed sheepishly. Shizu looked at their embarrassed expressions and laughed even louder. In an instant, sounds of joy filled the carriage once again. The wolf carriage arrived at Dworgen. This time there was no one at the gate, the main gate was wide open. Kaido came to the side of the wolf carriage. Welcome to Dworgen, Shizu. The king has decreed that he hopes Shizu enjoys herself. We dwarves will always welcome you. No one expected Dworgen and Gazel to do this. That night, Gazel read the report and felt the warmth of human emotion stir deep within his heart. So he decided to help them out, just to be a good person, and to send off this gentle visitor from another world with their blessings and a farewell. The report detailed what Shizu had done since she arrived. Kaido looked at Wang Yimo, who looked back at Kaido with a smile. Thank you, Gazel. The wind carried the message to the palace where Gazel was. Gazel smiled but said nothing. Looking at the man in the sky, Shizu whispered, Thank you, Xiao Mo. Soldiers cleared the way for them. Watching the soldiers standing at attention to welcome them, everyone was moved by this surprise. Love can be passed on, if we all harbor love in our hearts. After entering the city, everyone left the wolf carriage and was captivated by this unique city. Ellen dragged Shizu around, just like that day in the kingdom of Bloomt. Rimuru and the others followed behind, smiling. Wang Yimo arrived at an engraving magic shop and learned engraving magic. He found some magic stones himself and began practicing engraving. Later, when engraving the real items, Wang Yimo was exceptionally focused until the engraving was finished. He arrived in front of King Gazel's palace and handed an item with 3 dragon scale engravings to the soldier, saying, Give this to King Gazel and tell him this is part of my return gift. After receiving it, Gazel didn't have anyone check it for danger, he knew that man wouldn't do such a thing. But after sensing it, he knew what it was for. 3 dragon scales, 1 engraved with attack magic, 1 with defensive magic, and 1 with communication magic. This kid is really honest. He just gave away magic items of this grade. It wasn't in vain that I showed kindness. Gazel considered Wang Yimo a friend from the bottom of his heart. The dwarf kingdom was filled with steampunk-style creations, leaving the group dazzled as they toured. For Shizu, this was the first and last time she would properly see this world as a visitor from another world. I am truly happy. Everyone accompanied me, and I spent the happiest time of my life. Tears inevitably fell as Shizu gripped the hem of her clothes tightly. Don't cry. Here, try this. Wang Yimo appeared out of nowhere, holding some women's clothing in his arms. Shizu didn't understand what he wanted to do. Change your clothes. You're always dressed like that. A change of clothes will change your mood. Wang Yimo pushed her into a clothing store, with the others following closely behind. The clothing store had many styles and varieties of clothes. She hadn't seen such things before coming to this other world, and after arriving, she had never bought or worn them, so she felt a bit overwhelmed. It's okay. Wear them for yourself, wear them for us. Let us draw a perfect conclusion to this story, Wang Yimo's gentle voice echoed in Shizu's ears. Shizu gathered her courage, took the well-crafted clothes, went into the fitting room, changed, and stepped out. She fidgeted with the hem of her skirt, feeling shy, because before she transmigrated, she was just a little girl who hadn't tried on clothes in front of so many people. In fact, she hadn't even done it alone. Shizu timidly looked up and saw everyone's gratified smiles. As expected, Miss Shizu looks much better in a change of clothes, Guido said softly. Everyone nodded in agreement. Ellen covered her mouth, wanting to cry again. This Shizu was the real Shizu, but this Shizu was about to leave. Thank you, everyone. Shizu gathered her courage and continued to try on clothes. Outfit after outfit, she grew more confident and happier. This was how a girl should be. She laughed so innocently and unrestrainedly. This was another novel experience for her. Ellen offered suggestions from the side. Rimuru was paying the bill, and Guido and Kabaru carried the items. Wang Yimo stood with his arms crossed, watching the laughing group. He was happy, yet felt empty. Could I also have such a warm curtain call? Chinese people spend their whole lives waiting for a ritual worthy of their final curtain call. We do not fear death, we only fear dying without value, and that value is something Chinese people spend their whole lives pursuing. Wang Yimo was also looking forward to his own curtain call. Would it be being betrayed and covered in wounds, or having everyone surround him to bid him farewell? He smiled, a bitter smile. Ellen turned back and saw this scene. She seemed to understand why Wang Yimo was so attentive to Shizu, and also why Shizu trusted him so much. It was a resonance of souls, the lonely resonance of two visitors from other worlds. I must find a way to tell Lord Rimuru, otherwise Lord Jupiter's state is very worrying. Ellen thought to herself. Rimuru noticed Ellen glancing at Wang Yimo and took a look as well. Nothing is wrong, this guy still looks like he's smiling. Maybe Ellen likes this kid. Rimuru thought, feeling a sense of urgency without realizing it. Why am I nervous? Only she knew. Progress of becoming a girl is increasing. Hee hee. But soon, Rimuru's thoughts were pulled back by the group picking out clothes. In the end, Shizu wore a yellow dress. The dress was embroidered with flowers and butterflies by the dwarves. The hem was sewn with white silk scarves. This fit Miss Shizu's warm colors perfectly. After buying the clothes, just as everyone was about to leave, Wang Yimo walked over. He stood with Rimuru and took out a box. He handed the box to Shizu, who opened it while the others stood around watching. It was a crystal necklace. Each bead had a name carved into it, and the largest, shiniest one had Shizu's name. Wow! Everyone was stunned, it was so precious. Shizu covered her mouth, looking at Wang Yimo and Rimuru in disbelief. We just thought that since we're already here, it wouldn't be right not to buy some accessories. Besides, it suits Miss Shizu very well. Wang Yimo felt a bit embarrassed, as it was his first time giving such a gift. Xiao Mo, that's not sincere at all, Rimuru commented mercilessly. Rimuru hurriedly covered her mouth and said nothing. Everyone laughed in low voices, their shoulders shaking. Laugh, go ahead, don't make it seem like I'm oppressing you. Wang Yimo let it go, looking up at the sky, feeling as if life had lost its meaning. This appearance created an even greater contrast, so they laughed even louder. Shizu put the necklace around her neck. It went well with the dress and looked beautiful. Shizu was very satisfied. The day passed quickly, and they played until evening. When they finished dinner and didn't know what to do, the idea man Wang Yimo suggested, how about we go to the night butterfly? After saying that, he didn't forget to raise an eyebrow at Rimuru. After all, the last time wasn't exactly friendly. The others readily agreed to go, but Rimuru found that she didn't seem as interested. But since she was already here, she decided to go. So, the large group went to the night butterfly. They witnessed Rimuru's popularity. The group sat together watching Rimuru surrounded by beautiful women. Although Lord Rimuru is quite good, what about us? Kabaru felt a bit unwilling. Why were all the beautiful elves by Rimuru's side? Rimuru soon became immersed in the gentle company, while Wang Yimo watched Rimuru with interest, the meaning in his eyes unclear. This led many people, including Miss Shizu, to watch the drama unfold. Perhaps today would be Rimuru's end. Seeing everyone looking at him and Rimuru, Wang Yimo shrugged and spread his hands, indicating it didn't matter. TCH tilde. What are you guys disappointed about? Wang Yimo was somewhat puzzled. No, nothing. They are really weird. Wang Yimo thought. Oh my, would this young man like to see his fated person? The fortune teller elf returned to the stage. Me. Forget it. Wang Yimo refused. But Shizu was looking at the crystal ball with interest, eager to try. Wang Yimo noticed this and said, would Miss Shizu like to try? Is it okay? Of course. The elf lady didn't refuse either. When Miss Shizu placed her hand on it, everyone in the night butterfly stopped talking and watched the crystal ball. Between light and shadow, a slime appeared, hopping along, followed by a man no one expected, Wang Yimo. Everyone was surprised that it turned out this way, including Wang Yimo. Only Shizu saw this familiar figure and felt relieved. She didn't seem surprised. Rimuru was also stunned. Miss Shizu's fated people were herself and Xiaomo. No wonder they got along so well. It turned out there was a fated connection. But why did her heart skip a beat? It felt strange. Two people who have never experienced romance, how could they realize their feelings so early? Inadvertently, Rimuru turned her head and saw everyone except Wang Yimo and Shizu looking at her. This was too awkward, but she didn't know who Wang Yimo's fated person was. Shizu, feeling a bit shy, didn't look at Rimuru, while Wang Yimo was deep in thought, staring at the crystal. Should I try it when I have time? Wang Yimo thought. Lord Jupiter, why don't you look now? Your fated person. Everyone said in unison. No way. Wang Yimo refused heartlessly. He didn't want this to turn into a soap opera. Everyone was a bit disappointed, but how would these three get along? One person's fated person was about to leave, and one would leave in front of two fated people. It was hard not to feel sad. Some must say I've deviated from the original work, but that's what fanfiction is. I'm enriching their feelings and stories according to my own understanding. Everyone has their own version of Rimuru in their heart. I won't make major changes to their personalities, but I will enrich their emotions beyond what's shown in the anime, making them live in the book and in your hearts as much as possible. I'll try my best to avoid OOC. Although it's shocking, that's not our purpose today, right? Wang Yimo pulled the topic back at the right moment. Ellen pulled Shizu aside, whispering something and pointing at Wang Yimo. Wang Yimo and the other men were drinking and didn't notice. Rimuru was participating here and there, and as she leaned feminine, she even joined the two girls' conversation. The three looked at Wang Yimo together. Ellen and Rimuru smiled, a lecherous smile, while Shizu smiled shyly. Wang Yimo accidentally glanced over and saw the three of them, which was baffling. What on earth are those three thinking? Wang Yimo didn't understand, so he gave up thinking. He spread his hands and relaxed. Drinking is truly a strange thing. Alcohol makes one temporarily forget sorrow and regret, but such a reprieve must be repaid twofold once one sober up. A group of people held their glasses, clinking them, drinking, boasting, and chatting about nothing in particular. Wang Yimo didn't activate his alcohol immunity, and neither did Rimuru. Everyone wanted to get drunk, except for Ms. Shizu. She wanted to watch everyone with a clear mind and remember them. Wang Yimo, Guido, and Kabaru had their arms around each other's shoulders, whispering something with flushed faces. Guido, don't fooling slack off, you're still one glass short. You think you're the phantom thief kid. Drink. One look and you'd know who this fellow was. But Jupiter, I am a thief, Guido said helplessly, his face bright red. If you ask me, you're just no good. No thief is a lightweight. If you can't handle it, just say so. It's not like we're trying to drink you to death, Kabaru said. No matter the world, the way people pressure others to drink remains the same. What are you talking about? A man can't be no good, and what do you mean a thief can't drink? Guido stood up, tilted his head back, and drained the glass. Well done, that deserves a reward, Wang Yimo praised while clapping. You little punk, I've got your number, Kabaru said with a mischievous grin. Watching this bunch of eccentric guys, Rimuru silently moved a bit closer to Ms. Shizu. But how could one team have two such different types of people? Bang! A loud noise startled everyone. Ellen was tapping the table with her wine glass. If you ask me, Kabaru, you haven't really been drinking much either. Ellen was drunk, so she got right in Kabaru's face with her alcohol-laden breath. Can you handle it, Kabaru? Guido finished his drink and looked at Kabaru with a face full of disdain. Can I handle it? I'll show you if I can handle it. Kabaru also picked up his glass and began to drink wildly. Wang Yimo looked at these guys and smiled. It was quite fun, wasn't it? Hey, Jupiter-sama, don't slack off, drink up. Ellen came to Wang Yimo's side with her glass. Man, I'm being pressured to drink by a girl. Nothing for it but to drink. Before long, Rimuru was also pulled into the fray. Then they got wasted. Everyone was laughing and cheering, standing on the tables holding hands and doing a can-can dance. Rimuru was among them, though she was being held up in the air, swinging back and forth with the rhythm. The elven ladies had also had quite a bit to drink, singing along with the music. At the night butterfly tonight, there was singing and dancing, beneath this joy lay an unspeakable sadness. A sadness that alcohol could hardly suppress. Everyone was dancing with abandon, performing for Ms. Shizu. There were tears in the corners of their eyes, and Ms. Shizu's too, but no one cried out loud, continuing to laugh instead. The dance ended. There was a piano there. Wang Yimo walked over, sat on the piano bench, lifted the lid, and tested the keys. It was in working order. He thought about what he should use to commemorate this friendship. Should it be laughter, eternal remembrance, or a quiet farewell? Wang Yimo asked Ms. Shizu. A quiet farewell, then, just as I came quietly, Ms. Shizu chose the piece. Asking the staff of Night Butterfly for a violin, Wang Yimo felt a sudden inspiration and summoned his clone. Notice. Skill acquired. Parallel existence. Shared vision and thoughts. Strength is approximately 70% of the main body. 2 Wang Yimos, one on the piano and one on the violin. Wang Yimo took a deep breath and pressed the piano keys. The sound was crisp and melodious, and the violin slowly joined in, adding color to this farewell song. Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. The heavy music struck everyone's hearts. What were they thinking? Was it regret, sadness, loss, or melancholy? Was it the memory of the happiness of the past few days, a reluctance to let go, or acceptance? The music reached its climax, pounding against them. Everyone fell into their memories, but this time it was no longer with sadness, but with a smile. Once again, they held hands, surrounding Ms. Shizu. Just like this music, it had a heavy and sad beginning, a climax of lingering memories, and an ending of blessing and acceptance. This was exactly what Shizu wanted. Looking at the figure on the piano bench who had not yet stood up, she said once more, "Thank you." They had a great time in the Dwarf Kingdom. On the last day, Shizu wanted to spend it with everyone. They left the Dwarf Kingdom and returned to the village. Earlier, Rimuru, Shizu, and Ellen had whispered about some plan. Upon returning to the village, they let Wang Yimo accompany Ms. Shizu. The two of them walked aimlessly through the streets, looking here and there. I don't know what they're up to, but this is your wish, isn't it? Yes, Xiao Mo. Is it a bother? Not at all, it's my honor. Shizu made up her mind and slowly reached out, wanting to take the hand of the person in front of her. But halfway there, her hand was enveloped by a warm and strong hand. Then let's go. Wang Yimo looked back at her, smiling brightly. Ms. Shizu smiled as well. The two of them strolled through the forest with laughter. They caught fish in the river, picked fruit from the trees, and explored caves. During these few days, Shizu found Shizu, rather than the Lord of Explosive Flames. This was the first date, and also the last. In the evening, Shizu found Rimuru. She and Rimuru went to a hilltop, watching the busy crowd in the village and feeling the evening breeze. Mr. Rimuru, you must find your own heart, Shizu said out of the blue. What heart? You'll know later. I remember that Mr. Rimuru can devour people, right? Devour me. By devouring me, you can become human. Why ask me to do something so cruel? Rimuru found it hard to accept. This is my wish, and also my gift to you. Let it allow you to find your heart as a human, and let it set me free. But, it's no big deal. At most, Rimuru can protect the people I want to protect in my stead, and go see this world for me. But not to love in my stead, because you just haven't recognized your own heart. I want to help you and him be together. In a way, it's helping myself too. Alright, then, Rimuru agreed with difficulty. In just a few days, I've accomplished many firsts since coming to this world, even if they are also the last. But I am very happy, I have no regrets. Set me free, and set him free too, Shizu said, looking at the starry sky gradually appearing on the horizon. Recalling the past, before she crossed over, she was a little girl. The state took her father, and the war separated her from her mother. She hoped that children could be free from war and live healthily under the sun. After coming to this other world, she knew there was a dangerous fellow inside her body. She had thought about ending it all, but then she wondered what she would think about before dying. She went to fight the monsters invading human kingdoms, help the weak, and taught children. She didn't hope for these children to be heroes, she only hoped they wouldn't die easily. She had two students from another world, she didn't know their pasts or natures, but she didn't care, she just wanted everyone to live well. She was tired. She didn't want to involve others. She missed her mother. Until she met these eccentrics, who were overly warm despite being strangers. They accompanied her to experience the life a human should feel. She had seen much suffering on her journey through life, but in her final moments, people lent a hand, accompanied her in her madness and playfulness, stayed with her through joy and tears, and she even met someone she fell in love with at first sight, spending her first and last date with the person she liked. Though life was short, it was fulfilling. Rimuru gave Shizu the letters everyone had written to her, while Shizu told Rimuru to wait until after devouring her to open the letter she had left behind. As time passed, the seal inside Shizu's body could no longer be suppressed. Her body temperature rose rapidly, and spirit markings appeared at the corners of her eyes and on her face. I'm sorry, Mr. Rimuru, it seems my time is up. Shizu gave Rimuru one last smile. Boom. A massive vortex of flames exploded beneath Ms. Shizu's feet. Ms. Shizu floated in the vortex of flames, her arms spread wide. Her eyes had lost their luster, but tears flowed out unconsciously, making a sizzling sound as they were evaporated by the high temperature. The vortex contracted, and the flames enveloped her figure. Roar. The flames burst open, and the newcomer was none other than the flame spirit, Ifrit. Everyone was drawn by the towering firelight. Seeing that Shizu was gone, Ellen and the others shed tears. We haven't even had the chance to say a proper goodbye, big sister Shizu, Ellen whispered softly. Follow the contingency plan and get ready, Wang Yimo's voice came. His face showed neither sorrow nor joy, but everyone knew he was furious. Rigard and Rigier went to arrange the evacuation of personnel, while Ellen and the others were responsible for handling the collateral damage from the battle. Tisk, you're really asking for it. Wang Yimo versus Ifrit. Hey, are you any good at close combat? Wang Yimo said, his back turned to Ifrit, doing who knows what. Don't blame me for bullying you. If you're no good at close quarters fighting, we can just duke it out with magic, Wang Yimo's voice still brimming with confidence and disdain. Whoosh. Ifrit accelerated in midair, creating a sonic boom as he instantly appeared behind Wang Yimo, throwing a straight right punch. Although his back was turned, Wang Yimo simply twisted his body slightly to the left, not only dodging the punch but also, in a move Ifrit couldn't even follow, sweeping his left leg backward. Ifrit hurriedly raised his left arm to block, but the moment it made contact with Wang Yimo's leg, a tremendous force slammed into him, instantly kicking him back to his original position. What kind of monstrous strength is that? It's terrifying. Wang Yimo slowly turned around. His eyes of heaven actually glowed with a blue light like flames. With each step, as his body swayed, the blue light traced peculiar arcs in the air. Tap, tap, tap. With each step, the magicals around him boiled violently. The pressure emanating from Wang Yimo grew so immense that the ground beneath him shattered. Buoyed by magic power, he levitated slightly. The magicals churned like boiling water, seemingly cheering and dancing. Red and black lightning coiled around his body, obscuring his features, only the flickering blue light at the corners of his eyes visible. Ifrit thought, this is bad, and hastily assumed a defensive stance. Tap. Wang Yimo vanished from his spot. He's coming. Ifrit reacted swiftly, but it was already too late. Wang Yimo instantly flashed in front of Ifrit, throwing a seemingly ordinary right hook. Only when the fist was right before his eyes did Ifrit understand true fear. At the moment of impact, the world seemed to lose all light, leaving only the black-red lightning and those merciless blue eyes of heaven. Thud. Bang. 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 The punch sent Ifrit spinning out of control, tumbling through the air like a buzzsaw before crashing and rolling across the ground, carving several new craters in the earth. Ifrit scrambled to his feet, blood trickling from the corner of his mouth. Is this fooling martial arts? Wang Yimo's Chaos Thunder Flash hadn't been used at full power because Rimuru still needed to devour this guy. Ifrit hurriedly looked around, searching for Wang Yimo's whereabouts. Where did he go? Snapping back to awareness, he looked up. Ha! Wang Yimo exhaled a puff of white vapor. He was above Ifrit, raising his leg, spinning, and delivering a heavy downward kick. Boom! Ifrit had managed to raise his arms in time to block, but half his body was already driven into the dirt. Ah! Ifrit spat out a mouthful of blood. I didn't provoke this guy, did I? I just got out not long ago. I never messed with him before. Ifrit was bewildered. Not giving Ifrit time to recover, the next attack arrived. Wang Yimo unleashed a relentless assault on Ifrit. Left jab, followed by left hook, right hook, then an uppercut to the abdomen. Each blow landed with brutal force, even creating explosive cracks upon impact. When his fists connected, magicals accompanied the strikes, piercing through Ifrit and blasting the surrounding area as if it had been shelled. Growing more exhilarated, Wang Yimo now wielded black-red chaos thunder in one hand and gray-white chaotic flames in the other. After an uppercut connected, forcing Ifrit to spit more blood and creating an opening in his defense, Wang Yimo followed up with a left elbow strike, a right elbow strike, and then a spinning elbow thrust to the chest. Ifrit was beaten to the point he could barely stand. But Wang Yimo didn't stop. He grabbed Ifrit's head and drove a knee into his abdomen, then pressed down for a knee strike to the head, followed by grabbing Ifrit's horn to deliver a charged knee smash to the face. This combo left Ifrit kneeling, unable to rise. Wang Yimo finished with a final blow, a snapping roundhouse kick to the head. The force was so great it sent Ifrit crashing and skidding several meters across the ground. Beyond the physical blows, Ifrit's body also suffered from the paralyzing effects of chaos thunder and the searing burns of the chaotic flames. Not far away, Rimuru and the others watching the battle were seeing Wang Yimo this enraged for the first time. Gazing at the merciless figure floating mid-air, one hand crackling with lightning, the other ablaze with fire, Rimuru thought, only an Ultraman could probably withstand this kind of beating, and even an Ultraman would be flashing red by now. Lying on the ground, Ifrit looked up at Wang Yimo hovering in the air. Dark clouds gathered behind him, occasionally split by flashes of lightning. Amidst the thunder and lightning, Ifrit saw the phantom of a giant dragon behind Wang Yimo. As lightning flashed, matching his eyes of heaven, he seemed like a merciless celestial deity descended to earth to enforce judgment and slaughter, radiating divine authority without a shred of mercy. Unwilling to accept defeat, Ifrit flew up to engage Wang Yimo in aerial combat. For a moment, the sounds of thunderclaps and the explosive impacts of fist against fist mingled in the sky. Wang Yimou didn't move an inch from his position, calmly meeting Ifrit's attacks. He was utterly composed, deflecting assaults from every direction with effortless ease. Ifrit grew furious and humiliated. Arg! In a rage, he threw a punch, but Wang Yimou raised a hand to block, then used the momentum to pull him in. His other hand seized Ifrit's face and slammed him from the sky straight into the ground. Boom! Chunks of earth shattered, dust flew, and after a massive shockwave, the ground was left with yet another huge crater. Wang Yimou released Ifrit, walked to the edge of the crater, and looked down at Ifrit lying sprawled on his back without a trace of pity. You're a fire spirit, right? Let me see what level your flames are at. Don't look down on me. Ifrit, enraged, gathered two masses of flame in his hands, compressing them again and again. The temperature and power of the flames multiplied, the intense heat distorting the air, creating a scene like a scorching hell where everything was burning. Take this. He hurled the two fireballs, confident Wang Yimou wouldn't dare to take them head on. Is that all? Wang Yimou sneered, continuing to walk forward slowly. Seeing the two fireballs fly toward him, he extended his right hand and casually swatted them aside, one to the left, one to the right, as if shooing flies. Your arrogance will cost you, Dia. Ifrit's jaw dropped so wide he could have swallowed his own head. Because the two fireballs had just been batted away. Boom! Boom! Violent explosions sounded not far away, proving their considerable destructive power. The shockwaves and blast of heat arrived moments later, but Wang Yimou simply waved an arm, dispersing everything. Xiao Mo, get serious. Showing off like this is going to affect the village. Rimuru anxiously hopped up and down. Ah, you. Wang Yimou's air of lofty mastery was interrupted. Fine, my turn. Wang Yimou flew up, extended his right hand, palm open. A black-red bolt of lightning shot out instantly, striking Ifrit before he could react. Caught off guard by the instantaneous attack, Ifrit could only raise his arms in a desperate attempt to block. The lightning crackled over Ifrit's body, its immense power pinning him to the ground again and pushing him a long distance. A stray bolt even sheared off one of his horns. Though it could regrow, it was still utterly humiliating. How is he so strong? Ifrit lay on the ground, filled with resentment and fury. Wang Yimou used magicals to telekinetically retrieve Ifrit's horn, holding it in his hand and examining it closely. I won't accept this. Roaring, Ifrit slammed both hands into the ground, using the force to wrench himself free. He spread his arms wide, opened his hands, and roared as he began gathering power. Flames, surging flames. Ifrit brought his hands together before his chest, converging the fire. It grew larger and larger. He raised it above his head, continuing to charge it. Wang Yimou made no move to interrupt, simply watching as Ifrit prepared his ultimate move. Explosive fireball. Enhanced plus version. Everything the fireball passed over was incinerated. Even the earth cracked and burned beneath the heat. Where the explosive flames touched the ground, it too was reduced to ashes. Wang Yimou extended a hand. White flames bloomed in his palm. Fire is inherently a source of warmth, and the flames in Wang Yimou's hand also represented an extreme temperature. Don't bring science into this. He opened his palm, and a jet of white flame shot forth, clashing with the fireball. The two forces, white flame and explosive fire, intertwined. What happens if you make fire burn within fire? Increasing the output of the white flame, he made it envelop the fireball, gradually encasing it. The white flame devoured the explosive fire. As the white flame intensified, the fireball shrank as if being digested. I admit, your flames have considerable intensity. Wang Yimou truly had to acknowledge that the other was quite skilled in flame control and the power of his techniques. But he himself was a stats monster. No fancy techniques needed, just overwhelmingly superior numbers. Heh. Ifrit felt a flicker of pride. At least this formidable man acknowledged his strength. But I'm bored now. Rimuru, he's all yours. You want to contribute too, right? Wang Yimou walked toward Rimuru, paying no further attention to what Ifrit was doing. By the way, if you beat Rimuru, I'll let you go, Wang Yimou added, worried the kid might just break down and flee. He decided to leave one side of the encirclement open, offering a seemingly possible escape route. Hey, you're that confident I can handle it. Rimuru sounded a bit reluctant. Because I believe in you. I believe you can handle it. Rimuru scratched his head, then hopped and skipped his way toward Ifrit. Wang Yimo was studying Ifrit's horn when, to his complete bewilderment, it transformed into a ball of light and merged into his body. Notice. Absorbing the power of the fire spirit. Awaiting. I absorbed it just like that. Wang Yimo was a bit dumbfounded. What will happen after absorbing this thing, anyway? What's going on? Part of me is being absorbed. What is that man doing? Ifrit was also confused, but he watched as the slime came bouncing over. This is going easy on me, right? He's really. I could cry. He found me a slime just to let me live. You needn't pity me with a slime. Even if I win, I'd be ashamed. Ifrit lamented to Wang Yimo's retreating back. What is this guy thinking? Could he possibly think I'm doing this on purpose? Come on, a slime is actually tough to fight. If she catches me off guard with a predator, I'd end up keeping the Chunibyo dragon company. This guy is ridiculously overpowered. Wang Yimo was stunned. There was no helping it, a slime from the bottom of the world's hierarchy would never get any respect. Looking down on me, huh? HMPH, if I don't beat the crap out of you, I won't be worthy of the name. Oh wait, I don't even have a surname to begin with. Rimuru felt displeased at being underestimated, a big vein popping on his forehead. Ifrit, right. Underestimating your opponent will cost you. Oh ho. The slime's talking big now. I'll show you what a nightmare feels like. I'll take a beating from him, I admit that. But I'm supposed to take a beating from you too. Ifrit placed his hands on his hips and laughed maniacally at the sky. Rimuru didn't waste words. He mimicked the Star Tempest Wolf and opened with Black Thunder. Boom. The Black Thunder struck Ifrit, completely stunning the poor guy. No way, is this even the same world I know? Since when are slimes this strong? Water Blade. Ifrit hastily dodged and hurriedly used flames to clash with Rimuru. The water blades were pretty useless, as the high temperature vaporized them. Wang Yimo watched from not far away. Rimuru needed to learn and grow. Ifrit then remembered he had minions when he descended. He directly summoned 3 fire lizards. Rimuru summoned Ranga, reverted to his slime form, and began evading the attacks from the fire lizards and Ifrit. Great Sage, how can I hurt them? Black Thunder has high destructive power but doesn't do much actual damage. Notice. Continuous use of water element is possible. High temperatures cause water element to evaporate into steam, which can trigger a steam explosion. If you don't mind leveling this entire area, that is. Are you stupid? What kind of suggestion is that? Rimuru berated the great sage in his mind. Spirits can be damaged by magic. But where am I supposed to find damaging magic? Though slightly off course, one of the fire lizards was attracted to Ellen, who was watching from the periphery, and flew towards her. Water Ice Great Magic Spear. Ellen still used this move, successfully piercing the lizard's body. That's the move. Rimuru's eyes lit up. Ellen, use that move to attack me. Rimuru shouted. Huh, are you sure it's okay? Ellen was bewildered. It's fine. Shoot it at me. Rimuru shouted confidently. Alright then, here it comes. Ellen swung her staff, and the water ice great magic spear shot towards Rimuru. Rimuru jumped up, opened his mouth, and used Predator to eat it. For a moment, he took the shape of the great magic spear, but fortunately, he learned the skill. So, Ranga carried Rimuru at a breakneck pace. Rimuru jumped up and, mid-air, released water ice great magic spears, firing them in all directions. 2 of the 3 fire lizards were thus skewered to death. TCH, you've got some skill. Ifrit looked at this absurd slime, finding it hard to believe. The remaining escapee prepared to self-destruct in front of Ellen and the others. Just as its power buildup was about to complete, Ellen cast a protective spell. Kabaru hurriedly shielded the 2 behind him, ready to take the full force of the explosion. Kid held Ellen in his arms. Neither man showed fear, regardless of status, it was simply about protecting their comrades. Boom. Dust and smoke billowed. But Kabaru and the others were completely unharmed. Huh. The 3 looked up. Beneath the settling dust was still that reassuring figure. First, I commend your instinct to protect your comrades. Second, why aren't you running yet? Wang Yimo looked back at them. Lord Jupiter, how did you know? Simple. Just a stomp. After saying this, Wang Yimo stomped his foot. A protective barrier condensed from magicules rose up. Its strength was nothing to scoff at. Crack. That was the sound of a heart breaking. Why are you still standing there? Run. Wang Yimo still didn't quite understand why these people were just standing around. The three quickly went to help elsewhere, clearly unable to assist with the current situation. Notice. Skill, protection, acquired. Generating skill, orders protection, despair great white shield. Not bad at all. Ranga, go help Ellen and the others. Protect them. Rimuru was also worried about Ellen's group, so he assigned Ranga. Slime, are you planning to fight me one-on-one? Ifrit saw the departure of Ranga, one of the few threats, and felt insulted. So, he summoned a bunch of clones, surrounding Rimuru. Ifrit's magicules had recovered a lot during the fire lizard's delay, so the temperature around him rose even higher. Water ice magic bullet burst. Rimuru upgraded the skill, instantly wiping out the clones. Then, a fire element magic circle appeared beneath his feet. Inferno blazing prison formation. Ifrit shouted. Finally proving his strength. Did you see that? That man. Huh. Do I have a name? If Wang Yimo knew what this guy was thinking, he'd absolutely lose it. And at this moment, Rimuru within the fire formation. Ah. I fell for it. Am I going to die? My short life. Ah. No, my short slime life. He then contorted into various shapes. Xiao Mo, I think I might break my promise. I'm going to die. Speaking of which, Xiao Mo wouldn't just leave me to die, right? Why is that? Rimuru scratched his head. Wait, I'm not dead yet. Could you hurry it up? Why am I not dead yet? Rimuru couldn't feel any damage. Notice. You are immune to fire. You acquired this during your previous sparring sessions with Wang Yimo. Ah. Really? Oh tilde that time. At the same time. Hey, did you see that? My strength isn't trash. Ifrit shouted neurotically at Wang Yimo. Wang Yimo raised a hand to his forehead. He seemed to recall a certain Chenxiang and a demon king. I say, maybe you should take a look. Wang Yimo pointed with his other hand at the gradually dying flames. Huh. Ifrit turned his head to look at the slime within the fire formation. The light left his eyes. Wah, you can't bully someone like this. Ifrit cried helplessly. Even the fire spirit couldn't burn away his tears of sorrow. Seeing the perfectly fine slime, Ifrit felt so tired. Helplessly, he walked over, spread his arms, and awaited death. You can't play like this. Thinking Ifrit was about to attack again, Rimuru bound him with steel wires. Instinctively, Ifrit tried to burn them, but it was useless. It seems my vision was indeed narrow. I can't even defeat a slime. Someone as arrogant and conceited as me doesn't deserve to live. Ifrit lifted his head to gaze at the sky at a 45-degree angle, shedding tears of sorrow. Then, in his final moments, he saw something even more unbelievable. A slime opened a giant maw, about to swallow him. Gulp. Something was swallowed. Sayonara. Wang Yimo bid him farewell. Next time they met, this guy should be a lot stronger. Probably. Actually, Ifrit was very strong. But he ran into two cheaters. Was he lucky? The moment he appeared, he met the protagonist party, and as an antagonist. Was he unlucky? The moment he appeared, he faced two protagonists worth of combat power. At the same time, inside the stomach. Where is this? Ifrit was very curious. Even if I died, it shouldn't be like this, right? He spewed flames around, but couldn't see anything clearly. Ha ha ha, a newcomer. An opponent of Rimuru and Jupiter's. However, encountering me, the storm dragon Veldora, you'd better be prepared. In the darkness, a dragon's form gradually revealed itself. The Chunibyo dragon was putting on a serious act, showing off in front of his new little cellmate. Wah, you can't play like this. Ifrit truly cried. Two cheaters outside, and another one even after death. Ahahahahahahaha. Veldora laughed with Chunibyo grandeur. The moment Ifrit disappeared, Shizu appeared in his place. Having lost Ifrit, coupled with her long-standing exhaustion, the strength of Shizu's soul and life force was already on the brink of death. Miss Shizu. Asterisk 2. In the infirmary, only one person lay quietly on the bed. Where is this? She opened her eyes and once again saw the familiar ceiling. You're awake. A sky blue, bouncy slime was by her bedside. It's you, Mr. Slime, or should I call you Rimuru or Satoru? Shizu looked at Rimuru, her eyes filled with an indescribable sense of relief. I won't be seeing the others. On the hilltop where we were that day, I buried the final farewell I left for you all. According to our agreement, you should consume me now. Yeah. Rimuru shed tears. Notification. Do you wish to activate the skill Predator? Yeah. This was the most difficult decision Rimuru had made so far. The skill was activated, and Rimuru enveloped Shizu. At the very last moment, Shizu said one final sentence. Say goodbye for me. Face your own heart honestly, don't lose him. Although I didn't hear it clearly, I will, Rimuru said, voice choked with emotion. After a flash of light, the person was gone from the bed, only a slime remained, looking at the still warm bed, unsure of what to think. Goodbye, Miss Shizu. Goodbye, Miss Shizu. Outside the room, Wang Yimo, though he had long known the outcome, still found it hard to accept that a living person had just departed like this. In the world of consciousness, Miss Shizu walked through a vast, white space, and then she saw a familiar figure ahead. Mom. Mother and daughter embraced, holding hands as they walked off into the distance. Wang Yimo walked into the room, saw Rimuru in a daze, and picked them up. It's okay, Rimuru. At least Shizu has no regrets. Wang Yimo held them and said this. Wang Yimo was not good at comforting people, so he could only speak gently and take it slowly. Shizu asked me to say goodbye to you all. I have a feeling of loss in my heart. I see. After all, you are destined ones. I don't know. I'm not sure what this feeling is. Is Miss Shizu awake? Ellen and the others arrived. Mr. Rimuru, where is Sister Shizu? She is gone. Rimuru followed her wishes and saw her off on her final journey, Wang Yimo explained. I see. I remember Mr. Rimuru can use mimicry, right? Could you turn into Sister Shizu's appearance so we can say goodbye to her? I can. You all go out first. I need to think about how to face this body. Before leaving, Wang Yimo left a set of clothes and then walked out. Rimuru didn't understand why that guy, Xiao Mo, carried clothes around with him, but didn't think too much about it. Mimicry. When the familiar figure appeared once again, Rimuru touched the face and shed tears. Changing into the clothes Xiao Mo had prepared, along with Shizu's mask, Rimuru thought, how did Xiao Mo know I liked this kind of clothing and this color? Come in, everyone. Sister. Shizu. Ellen couldn't tell who exactly was standing in front of her. Kabaru and Guido also couldn't say a word. Ellen was the first to recover, took Rimuru's hand, and said tearfully, Sister Shizu, thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye, Miss Shizu, they said in unison. Moved by emotion, Rimuru raised a hand and patted Ellen's head. It felt as if this were Miss Shizu's guidance. Feeling this familiar gesture, Ellen burst into tears and hugged Rimuru. It's okay, Ellen. It will be all right, Rimuru continued to soothe her gently. Unknowingly, tears also streamed down their own face. Kabaru and Guido were both wiping away tears. Don't be sad. Didn't Shizu leave something for us? Should we go check it out together? Wang Yimo didn't like this atmosphere. Yeah, we should see what Shizu left for us, Rimuru agreed. The group arrived at that familiar small hilltop. Rimuru made some changes to their human form, making it somewhat similar to Shizu's, but more like an independent individual rather than a replacement for Shizu. They found the letters Shizu had left behind. One for Ellen, one for Kabaru, one for Guido, one for Rimuru, one for Wang Yimo, and others written to her students. Everyone opened their respective letters. Ellen-chan, I'm so happy I could write to you. How should I put it? You were the first in this party to accept me. I'm very happy to have a friend and teammate like you. Also, thank you and Rimuru for giving me ideas, taking me shopping, eating and drinking, and playing games. It was you who brought me a sense of childhood innocence. Thank you, Ellen. Ellen covered her mouth, letting tears fall onto the letter paper, sobbing uncontrollably. Kabaru-san, having a captain like you in this party puts me at ease. Although you and Ellen are always bickering, the party is lively because of you all. Dongsheng, I know you were never a careless person, you would sacrifice your life for the people in the party. You are a good captain. I leave this party to you. Kabaru covered his face and wept bitterly upon reading this. Guido-san, thank you for your hard work. You've always mediated between those two troublemakers. Because you are here, the party hasn't fallen apart due to their bickering. You are a reliable person. From now on, I'll have to trouble you to continue taking care of these two childish guys. Guido appeared calm, but tears flowed down involuntarily. Mr. Rimuru, thank you for taking care of me during this time. I'm sorry, I can't hold on any longer, so I'll be going ahead. I hope you realize your own heart soon. Don't make you all wait too long, and don't wait until you've lost something to realize it. I've seen all your efforts and hard work during this time. Thank you, and I envy you, too. At least you can still look at him and stay with him. Rimuru looked at the letter and said nothing. Stay with Xiaomo. I will. I will stay with him forever. My dear Jupiter, or should I say Mr. Wang Yimo, thank you for saving me, and thank you for going on a date with me. I hope you, too, will recognize your own heart, and I hope you don't become paranoid. Remember that someone has always loved you, she is right by your side, loving you. Don't forget that family is by your side, and no matter what, don't lose yourself. A date. That time. Family. Rimuru. Loves me. Who? What kind of love? Lose myself. But I haven't even found myself yet. Wang Yimo smiled helplessly, Shizu's worries made no sense. But, as they say, the onlookers see more than the players. After reading the letters, everyone was crying but smiling, because there was one common sentence at the end. Thank you everyone, I'm very happy. Let's have one last smile. Goodbye. Everyone released paper airplanes, they were letters written to Shizu. Actually, everyone had thought all night without knowing what to write, and in the end, there was only one sentence. Goodbye, Miss Shizu. If there is a chance, I hope we can meet again in the next life. After saying goodbye to Shizu, Ellen and the others prepared to leave. Before parting, Rimuru asked Kaijin to make them defensive magic items and weapons. The three of them were so fond of them that they even said they would treasure them for a lifetime. Then Ellen and the others left. Before leaving, Ellen whispered some things to Rimuru. Rimuru and Wang Yimo watched them go, waving their hands. Everyone left all at once. Xiaomo, Rimuru felt empty inside. The wonderful times of the past few days were like a movie preserved in their memories. Yeah, Rimuru, they're gone. Let's go back and hold a banquet. You have a human form now, so you can taste delicious food, Wang Yimo said, patting Rimuru's head. Rimuru's human form is really nice to pat. Rimuru didn't mind Wang Yimo patting their head, but regarding the ability to taste food, it was indeed a big deal, as having no sense of taste for so long had been quite difficult. I remember someone was going to cook for me, Rimuru said, tapping their chin with a small hand in thought. Yeah, I said I'd cook for you. Just wait, we'll eat tonight, Wang Yimo said, proceeding to mess up Rimuru's hair even more. Cut it out, Xiaomo. Rimuru slapped Wang Yimo's hand away from their head, looking annoyed. Wang Yimo sheepishly withdrew his hand and walked back to the village with Rimuru. Rimuru, Xiaomo, I have something for you tonight. Synchronized thoughts, Xiaomo. I'm really looking forward to tonight. Me too, Rimuru. You probably won't be looking forward to it once you see the clothes tonight. But what Wang Yimo didn't know was that Rimuru had fallen into femininity. Then I'm going hunting to prepare for your surprise, Wang Yimo said, smiling and saying goodbye to Rimuru before flying off. As for Rimuru, they went to work, hoping to finish early to rest and wait for the surprise. The banquet was left to Rigurd. Rigurd was very attentive, as this was the first time Rimuru would be tasting their cooking. Although Wang Yimo often ate it, he never gave any feedback, so they didn't know what to make of it. This guy could eat instant noodles for a lifetime, he doesn't care about food. What should I cook? Crops are scarce here, mostly barbecue, though there are meat substitutes for pork, lamb, beef, and chicken. I'll make braised chicken wings, pan-seared steak, charcoal grilled lamb leg, and stir-fried meat with chili. Wang Yimou pondered for a moment. He set the death list. The king of hell calling the roll. For a time, screams echoed endlessly in the forest. Those who dared to resist died without a sound, pulverized on the spot. Rigyur and Gobta were numb looking at the tragic state of the forest. Those who knew understood it was for cooking a meal for Rimuru, those who didn't would think this lord was going to bloodbath the great forest. Then he put the prey into the chaos space and started flying back. Inside the chaos space, looking at the bloody prey, Tragon drooled with greed. Just then, Tragon, if you dare to steal a bite or let your drool drip on it, I will stew you. Wang Yimou's voice came slowly, devoid of emotion. Tragon immediately wiped away his drool. After all, this lord would really stew him. Hunting came to an end. Wang Yimou planned to pick some vegetables. He first went to his village's plantation. They did have rice, so they could eat rice. The purple fruits produced by strange underground roots were tomatoes. Tisk, this really violates biology. No choice but to taste them one by one to find out. Thus, Wang Yimou began tasting the 100 herbs. PFF'd, this red fruit is actually garlic. Ah. Why does the potato-like monster taste like shit? Some were poisonous. Wang Yimou foamed at the mouth and had a stomachache. Notification. Acquired poison resistance. I managed to get poison resistance without even eating Xian's cooking. Wang Yimou smiled bitterly. Truly speechless. After collecting the ingredients, Wang Yimou went to the kitchen to try them out. Salt and such were bought from Dworgen, but the taste of these things needed verification. No wonder Wang Yimou hunted so much game. After taking out the prey and using the village cook's large knife to debone and remove meat, while asking which meat was edible and which wasn't, he began today's cooking. The braised chicken wings tasted sweet for some reason. The charcoal grilled lamb leg was normal. The pan-seared steak with milk products as a butter substitute was okay, but why did the stir-fried meat with chili have a weird taste? It was afternoon, so with the cook's help, Wang Yimou tried countless times and finally gained experience. The food in this different world is hard to make, ingredients can't be a bit more or a bit less. Just like that, grumbling until nightfall. Under the bonfire, the goblins surrounded one person, that was Rimuru. At this moment, she tasted her first meal, skewers, simple skewers sprinkled with salt, but having lacked a sense of taste for so long, she finally tasted something. It's tasty. Everyone sighed, and Wang Yimou expressed relief. Xiao Mo, where is the food you made? Rimuru looked at Wang Yimou. Wang Yimou blushed and took out the pot and kitchenware. There was no way around it, he had to cook in front of everyone. This was the first time, he was a bit shy. Looking at the blushing boy cooking for her, Rimuru felt a bit happy. Strange, why do I also feel my face is hot? Is it the bonfire? Rimuru thought. Wang Yimou set up the pot, heated the oil, added scallions, ginger, and garlic, sautéed them until fragrant, added the pork, stir-fried until golden, added the chili, added the secret sauce, and stir-fried on high heat. As for the high heat, it was Tragon lying on the ground blowing. I am a heartless fire-blowing machine. The fragrance overflowed. Chinese cuisine came to the different world with another type of ingredient and cooking method. Everyone stared with wide eyes at this pot of delicacies. Wang Yimou wiped his sweat, wiping sweat from the void, then served the dish and brought it to Rimuru. Blushing, he turned his head away and said shyly, "Here, it's done. Eat it. No bad reviews accepted." Rimuru laughed looking at this shy guy, reached out to take the dish, and tasted it carefully with chopsticks. Rimuru lowered her head, her expression unclear. Wang Yimou had to admit he was nervous. Not just him, everyone was nervous. After all, Lord Jupiter was cooking, he wouldn't dare imagine it even with 800 lives. What if it didn't taste good? Rimuru raised her head, her eyes seemed to flash with light, and then she hugged the plate and started devouring it. Delicious, delicious, Xiao Mo, let me tell you, blah blah blah. Eat slowly, no one is snatching it. Wang Yimou breathed a sigh of relief and distributed some of the dish to others. Everyone was trembling, closed their eyes, and took a bite. Then, there was no strange taste, it was really delicious, so the whole place started wolfing down the food. Wang Yimo started the next meal. Charcoal grilled lamb leg, braised chicken wings, pan-seared steak. Every dish and every process was so strict. One could even feel Wang Yimo being so focused that his magicals didn't even dissipate but gathered around him. Xiao Mo, you guy, so serious when cooking, but I feel very happy. Rimuru sat on her seat, tilting her head, her face flushed, watching the serious Wang Yimo cooking. Every subsequent meal was delicious, and Rimuru suggested that maybe Xiao Mo should cook more in the future. I don't, fine. Wang Yimo originally wanted to refuse, but looking at Rimuru's expectant eyes, he chose to indulge her. Since Rimuru wanted to eat it, he would make it for her. Rimuru happily dangled her legs. The cute and adorable brainless one and the one who doted on her, the unhappy one currently happy. Everyone also ate happily, so they started the traditional retained program, drinking and performing. Xiao Mo, don't you have a gift? Rimuru walked to Wang Yimo's side, reached out her small hand, and asked Wang Yimo for it with a grin. You want to see it now? Of course, can't I? Don't regret it, Rimuru. Why would I regret it? It wouldn't be something weird, would it? Rimuru was suddenly a bit worried. After all, this lord had a lot of bad taste. Let's see it, Lord Jupiter. A group of people were booing. Kaijin and the others, Rigard, Tragan, and Ranga were all watching eagerly. Thus, Wang Yimo took out several sets of clothes from the chaos space. There were unisex styles and many women's clothes. Wang Yimo had a mischievous smile, while Rimuru looked speechless. Just this, Xiao Mo. I thought you were up to some other tricks. Rimuru was speechless. After all, she had just imagined many bad things, but it was just clothes. Even she didn't realize when she had accepted women's clothing. Wang Yimo found Rimuru's expression so calm and composed, and he became uneasy. Why did you just accept women's clothing? Since you accepted it, I suddenly want to see you wear it. Ahem, do you want to go change into it? Wang Yimo looked at Rimuru with expectation in his eyes. Now. Okay, then I'll go change. Rimuru was originally a bit embarrassed, but seeing Wang Yimo's expectant eyes, she agreed. These two just dote on each other. Rigard looked at the interaction between these two with a gratified face, and Tragan on the side seemed like a father who didn't have to worry anymore because his child finally got a clue. Right, before going, let me give you the gift first. Rimuru stopped, took out the custom Tang Hengdao from her stomach, and handed the sword to Wang Yimo. This was customized by Kaijin. You should have sensed the engraving magic, right? I hope this sword is a sharp blade to protect family and strike enemies. I hope it can help you. I don't know what you like, but your country's sword should be fine, right? Rimuru said somewhat uncertainly. Looking at Wang Yimo was full of liking, smiling very happily. Thank you, Rimuru. I like it very much. Hurry up and go change, there is still a surprise waiting for you. Wang Yimo said to Rimuru while playing with the Tang sword fondly. Okay, then I'm going to change. Rimuru watched the boy's childish and sincere happiness, and her footsteps became cheerful. As long as Xiao Mo likes it, if he is happy, I am happy too. Is there another surprise? What is it? Looking forward to it. Rimuru went to change clothes. There were many types of clothes, and Rimuru didn't know what to change into at first. Thinking of Shizu's dress from that time, she wore a blue dress with the hem just over the knees, looking very playful and cute. Rimuru, after changing clothes, walked back to the party location. The goblins and Wang Yimo were all stunned by her beauty. The light blue hair fluttered in the wind, although it was just over the shoulders, it looked lively. Rimuru was a bit confused seeing everyone's blank looks. Doesn't it look good? Xiao Mo. Rimuru leaned slightly and tilted her head, looking at Wang Yimo. Wang Yimo felt his heart beating quite fast, his face flushed again. His bright heavenly eye avoided Rimuru, scratching his head, not daring to look directly, he said, very, very good looking, Rimuru. Looking at Wang Yimo's shy appearance, Rimuru, feeling playful, walked up to him. Xiao Mo, are you shy? Rimuru said, her tone playful. No, I'm not. How could I be shy? Wang Yimo feigned composure. Is that so? I thought you liked me, Xiao Mo. Rimuru said, her tone disappointed. Ah. Wang Yimo turned his head, unable to believe Rimuru would say that. Haha, I tricked you. Rimuru stuck out her tongue, playfully teasing Wang Yimo. You rascal, Rimuru, how dare you tease me? Wang Yimo walked over to Rimuru and rubbed her head. Alright, Xiao Mo, I was wrong. Rimuru put her palms together to apologize, her body swaying left and right from Wang Yimo's shaking. I'll let you off this time. Wang Yimo let go, looking a bit angry. Don't be angry, Xiao Mo. Didn't you say there was a surprise? Rimuru remembered. There isn't one anymore. Wang Yimo was still angry. Hey Tilda, are you still angry, Xiao Mo? Rimuru grabbed Wang Yimo's arm and shook it gently. Wang Yimo looked down and saw Rimuru's bright golden eyes staring straight at him, with only him in her gaze. He couldn't help but feel shy and dodged her eyes. Don't look at me with those eyes. Wang Yimo turned his head away. Ah Tilda, don't be so heartless, Xiao Mo. Give me the gift, Jupiter-sama Tilda. Rimuru's coaxing was becoming more and more practiced, without her even realizing it. Stop being so cheesy. You win, Rimuru. Honestly. Wang Yimo shivered, it was the first time he had felt this way. What is the gift, Xiao Mo? Rimuru smiled happily, making a B sign with her right hand in front of her right eye, closing her left eye, and tilting her head to the right, looking extremely cute. Ahem, alright Rimuru, close your eyes, and I'll give it to you. Wang Yimo's heart skipped a beat as he looked at the cute Rimuru. Okay. Rimuru obediently closed her eyes. Wang Yimo took out a necklace from his space. It was made of beautiful 5-colored gemstones, a gift he had chosen for Rimuru back in the Dwarf Kingdom. He had infused it with his engraving magic. Wang Yimo bent down and slowly leaned toward Rimuru. Rimuru felt nervous as she sensed Wang Yimo's approach. Wang Yimo's breath brushed against Rimuru's neck, making her feel a wave of heat. What is Xiaomo going to do? He's not going to kiss me, is he? What should I do? Should I refuse? Why am I actually looking forward to it? Rimuru's heart was in chaos, her heartbeat accelerating uncontrollably. Slowly, the sound of Wang Yimo's breathing and the warmth from his nose reached Rimuru's ear. Her ears turned bright red immediately. Rimuru felt as if the world had gone quiet, and she could only hear Wang Yimo's breathing and heartbeat. She couldn't help but tilt her head slightly, smelling the scent of Wang Yimo's breath. It was so sweet and pleasant, that was Rimuru's first thought. She couldn't help but open her eyes slightly, seeing Wang Yimo's beautiful eyes right in front of her. He was tilting his head slightly, focused on doing something. Rimuru was a bit dazed, hoping that this moment would slow down. She had never experienced such sweetness before and wanted to greedily hold onto it, a choice between soul and soul. Wang Yimo had already put the necklace on Rimuru. As he turned his head slightly, he saw Rimuru's dazed eyes. He raised his hand to stroke Rimuru's head and said dotingly, Alright, Rimuru, this is the gift I'm giving you. Rimuru finally noticed the necklace on her neck. The gemstones were beautiful, feeling cool against her skin, and it also had the engraving magic. Xiao Mo, did you make all of this yourself? Rimuru looked at the necklace, feeling happy and blessed. Yes, I was making it for you back in the Dwarf Kingdom. I just hope there will never be a day where you need to use it. Wang Yimo looked at Rimuru and found it funny for a moment. Does this guy really like this necklace that much? It's just because it's a gift from you, it's the bond between you and me, it's your care, it's your undiscovered love. I can see you really like it, Rimuru. Wang Yimo stood up straight and looked at Rimuru, his eyes full of doting affection. Thank you, Xiao Mo. This is my favorite gift. Rimuru hugged Wang Yimo tightly. Taken aback by this hug, Wang Yimo subconsciously pulled the person into his arms, one hand gently patting Rimuru's back, the other gently stroking her head. By the bonfire, under the night sky, this scene was indescribably beautiful. At this moment, a seed named love was planted once again in Wang Yimo's heart, an anchor point for the soul. Seemingly realizing they had been hugging for a bit too long, Rimuru let go of Wang Yimo and looked up at him. Watching the unconscious doting look in his eyes and his gentle smile, she seemed to know what the heart's intent Shizu had mentioned was, but Wang Yimo hadn't realized it yet. That lonely soul didn't understand how much he craved love, nor did he understand how closed off he was. only the subtle, easily overlooked details betrayed him. Rigurd watched the two people surrounded by pink bubbles and smiled happily. The two masters he cared about most finally made some progress. Kaijin looked gratified, while Tragan looked at Wang Yimo with a gentle expression. Finally, someone was taking care of his master. Realizing that everyone was watching the drama, Wang Yimo immediately returned to normal. Ahem, Rimuru, since you like it, let's continue the banquet. I have recognized my own heart's intent. It seems Xiaomo hasn't, but I am willing to wait for him. I am willing to stay with him, and I am willing to keep loving him, until he understands love, learns to love, and accepts love. Rimuru looked at this slightly evasive boy and felt no disappointment. Instead, she was full of love for this sincere yet unaware, kind yet childlike boy. She was willing to accompany the boy as he grew, and she trusted her own choice, because this love was a choice made by both the boy and herself. He would surely not let her choice down. Okay, let's continue the banquet then. Rimuru responded with a smile. For the rest of the banquet, Rimuru stayed by Wang Yimo's side, watching him, feeding him, and playing around with him. Why is Rimuru acting so strange? Wang Yimo muttered to himself. This guy was using her thick nerves to protect her own fragile feelings. Meanwhile, Rimuru was trying carefully to push aside the thorns and walk into the boy's heart. This road would not be simple, but Rimuru had no regrets. Wang Yimo didn't either, because Wang Yimo had chosen Rimuru earlier. Late at night, the banquet ended. Wang Yimo returned to his room, intending to sleep. In truth, he was afraid of that nightmare, which he couldn't tell if it was real or fake. So, ever since he woke up last time, he didn't dare to sleep without leaning on Rimuru. During the few days Shizu and the others were there, he hadn't slept at all, always sitting on that stone pillar in a daze. He had intended to do the same tonight. Knock, knock, knock. Who is it? Wang Yimo was a bit puzzled. Who would it be at this hour? The door opened, and it was Rimuru wearing pajamas. Rimuru, why are you here? Wang Yimo expressed his confusion. I remember there was a little brat who was afraid of having nightmares, so I came to keep him company since he wouldn't sleep. Rimuru hugged her pillow and pouted, looking elsewhere. Rimuru, you aren't good at lying. Tell me, why are you really here? You haven't slept for several days, I was just worried. If you don't need me, then forget it. Saying this, she prepared to close the door and leave. Fine, fine, come in. Wang Yimo didn't think much of it, just feeling that Rimuru's care for him was a bit excessive, but he liked having someone care about him. Rimuru happily hugged her pillow and came in, mentally giving herself a B sign. Lying on the bed, Wang Yimo was originally lying with his back to Rimuru, but Rimuru felt Wang Yimo trembling, so she slowly hugged him and gently stroked his back. It's okay, sleep. I'm here, I'll always be here. Whatever the reason was, Wang Yimo slowly fell asleep. Rhythmic breathing sounds came, and Rimuru breathed a sigh of relief, keeping the posture of hugging Wang Yimo as she drifted off to sleep. That night, Wang Yimo slept very comfortably, as if his soul was being gently stroked, and his whole being felt very relaxed. In the consciousness space, the two anchor points glowed faintly, collecting energy for Wang Yimo's soul. Looking at the two anchor points, the pitch-black figure stopped thinking and took no action, hoping that day would never come. If it did, these two anchor points would be the key. Wang Yimo turned over in the middle of the night and, in his dazed state, hugged Rimuru. This made Rimuru, whose sleep was light, wake up a bit. Seeing the extremely close distance between the two, she blushed instantly. But looking at Wang Yimo's peaceful sleep, Rimuru had no thought of breaking free. Instead, she let the other person hold her. Just like that, the two hugged each other and fell asleep snuggled together. Wang Yimo woke up. Opening his eyes, he saw Rimuru still sleeping in his arms. His brain didn't react for a moment, but Rimuru's brows furrowed slightly due to his movement, seemingly disturbed. Wang Yimo immediately lightened his movements, slowly getting out of bed. Xiao Mo, where are you going? Rimuru rubbed his eyes groggily, looking at Wang Yimo. Go back to sleep for a bit. I'll make you breakfast. Wang Yimo stroked Rimuru's head. He had to admit, it felt really good. Then he pulled the blanket up tightly for Rimuru. Oh, okay, I'll sleep a bit more. Rimuru smiled and went back to sleep. Wang Yimo quickly changed clothes using magicules, then walked out of the room and saw Rigurd. Morning, Rigurd. Wang Yimo uncharacteristically initiated the greeting. Morning, Lord Jupiter, Lord Rimuru. Rigurd was a little overwhelmed. It seemed this lord was in a very good mood. She's sleeping in my room, Wang Yimo casually dropped a bombshell. Ah. Rigurd's voice rose slightly. Shish, what's so strange about that? Haven't we always slept together? Wang Yimo rolled his eyes. My movements were too loud. So, Lord Jupiter, what are you going to do? Rigurd immediately lowered his voice and asked. Make food for that guy. Ever since I cooked yesterday, I can't avoid the fate of being in the kitchen. Wang Yimo's expression seemed to foresee future hardships. You've worked hard, Lord Jupiter. Rigurd was already used to this lord's insincere words. I'm leaving first. We can talk about the village matters after she wakes up. It's not like it'll make a difference right away. Wang Yimo waved his hand and walked towards the kitchen. Arriving in the kitchen, he decided to make a century egg solo congee using pork, rice, strange cucumbers, and eggs. Since there were no century eggs, regular eggs would do. Once he decided how to cook, he started. How exaggerated was Wang Yimo's seriousness when cooking? His limitless, which was usually always closed, was now open. Just imagine, it was no exaggeration to say this was a zone state of ultra instinct. He didn't even notice Rimuru's arrival. Rimuru stood at the kitchen entrance, looking at Wang Yimo, who was exaggeratedly serious, and found it rather cute. Life like this is really nice, Rimuru thought, crossing his arms and leaning gently against the doorframe, watching Wang Yimo busy himself. Wang Yimo wiped away non-existent sweat, feeling exhausted from cooking. Celestial language, with the heavenly eye and limitless open, and magicules fully concentrated on making a meal, it's comparable to fighting a demon lord. How could you not be tired? Phew, finally done. Rimuru will love it, right? Wang Yimo was not very confident. I'll love anything you make. It's Rimuru. Rimuru, when did you get here? Wang Yimo was bewildered. I came when you were almost done cooking. Let me taste it, slurp, it's amazing. Rimuru said as he walked, came to the pot, picked up a spoon, and took a sip. The refreshing congee, tender meat, salty eggs, and sweet cucumbers, it was really good. It's delicious, Xiao Mo, hurry and eat. Rimuru urged Wang Yimo to start eating. Wang Yimo had no choice with this guy. He took out a bowl and served congee for Rimuru, then served himself a bowl. The two of them sat in the dining room, drinking congee, basking in the sun, and enjoying the beautiful morning. I'm full, burp. Xiao Mo, what are you going to do today? Rimuru patted his belly, burping. I don't know, nothing much to do today. Wang Yimo shook his head, indicating no plans. Then do you want to come to the office with me? Just wait for me, and after I'm done, we can go stroll around the village. Rimuru was a little excited, with both hands clasped in front of his chest, looking all, waku waku. I don't like. Wang Yimo hadn't finished his sentence. Just accompany me, okay. Rimuru used his ultimate move again. Wang Yimo still couldn't resist Rimuru's pouting, HP infinity. Fine, I'll go with you. I really can't stand you like this. Wang Yimo leaned his chin on his hand, lazily agreeing. Yay! Rimuru raised his hands and spread his legs, showing his happiness. I really don't know who the child is. Wang Yimo looked at Rimuru in front of him with an indescribable indulgence in his eyes. It doesn't matter, you still have to accompany me. Rimuru put his hands on his hips, twisting his body, grinning. Okay, I'll accompany you, esteemed Lord Rimuru. So, where are we going now? Wang Yimo stood up and stroked Rimuru's head. To the office, I guess. Rimuru stopped twisting and thought for a moment. The two went to the office together, where someone was already waiting, Rigurd. Good morning, Lord Rimuru, good morning, Lord Jupiter. Morning, Rigurd. You two go about your business, I'm just changing places to slack off. Is there anything you need me to handle? Well, the village has been developing quite well recently, and I'm wondering if we need to expand the village's scale. Expand the scale, huh? Rimuru pondered. Seeing Wang Yimo spacing out in front of him, Rimuru felt it was necessary for this lord to think about political affairs, just in case he left the village later and there was someone to manage things. Xiao Mo, what do you think? Rimuru turned to ask Wang Yimo. Me. You're asking me. Wang Yimo pointed to himself with his finger. Yes, you are the master of the village after all. What's wrong with helping to alleviate its worries? Rimuru said righteously. Oh, this is what I think. Expanding the scale means population, population means labor, labor means development and construction. But similarly, population means food. We need to consider whether our current food supply and village can accommodate everything that comes with expanding the scale. Indeed, as it stands, we can feed ourselves, but to take in more would require the help of the guardian of the forest and other races. Rigurd also came to this conclusion based on his understanding of the village. But we will inevitably encounter other races sooner or later, Wang Yimo said solemnly. Ah, that's a problem. Rimuru also realized that his village had entered a period of expansion, so what about other races? Therefore, we must develop our military, train our own army, and maintain the village's safety. We do not proactively invade, but we also cannot passively retaliate. Wang Yimo hit the nail on the head. That's right, we need our own military. Rimuru also agreed. Then I will immediately go and seriously prepare for the army's formation. After all, the village only has a patrol team and a hunting team. I want to integrate these capable people for regular training, and have Kaijin and his team help produce weapons and protective gear. Rigurd, as expected of the quartermaster, immediately had a plan. Then I'll leave it to you to arrange, Rigurd. Rimuru made the final decision. You'll have to work hard, Rigurd. Wang Yimo uncharacteristically showed concern for someone else. Woo 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 woo, I understand, I won't let you down, Lord Rimuru, Lord Jupiter. Rigurd covered his face and cried again. Although he knew Rigurd's character, Wang Yimo's mouth still twitched. Go, Rigurd, don't overwork yourself. Wang Yimo still decided to tell Rigurd not to be too busy. I will dedicate myself wholeheartedly. Rigurd responded earnestly, then went to do it with ambition. How rare, our Lord Wang Yimo participating in politics and caring for subordinates. Rimuru teased Wang Yimo. You make it sound like I'm some kind of demon. Wang Yimo rolled his eyes. Want to read comics? Afraid you'll be bored? Yes. Want some snacks? Yes. Want. Rimuru, is your office work that comfortable? Wang Yimo asked a soul-searching question. I was just afraid you'd be bored, Rimuru humbly replied. Wang Yimo walked to the desk and confiscated all of Rimuru's snacks. Why? Woo woo woo. Rimuru was extremely upset. Because you didn't give them to me earlier. Wang Yimo was unreasonable but confident. Alright, I'll give them all to you. Honestly, like a little kid. Rimuru also chose to pamper this child. What do you mean, little kid? I'm telling you. Wang Yimo didn't finish his sentence. Yes, our great Lord Wang Yimo, you are not a child. Rimuru's words were full of indulgence and a tone like coaxing a child. You. Wang Yimo was neither angry nor not angry, his finger lifted but he had to put it down. I'm not talking to you anymore. Wang Yimo said no more, picked up a comic, and lay back on the sofa to read, but he put the snacks back where they belonged for Rimuru. Rimuru smiled silently and picked up the report. Inside the stomach, Chunibyo Dragon and Ifrit were playing chess. Oh, I'm actually surprised you didn't let Xiao Mo beat you to death, Ifrit. You jest. It was Lord Jupiter who held back, he seems to be specifically training Lord Rimuru. That goes without saying. We are best friends, after all, so of course we must help each other out. Then, Chunibyo Dragon told Ifrit about his past, why he appeared in the stomach, and the friendship between the three of them. So that's how it is. Then, Lord Jupiter absorbed a part of me, but I didn't give my consent. What does that mean? Should I agree to it? Of course you should agree. Both you and I need Rimuru and Xiao Mo's help to get out. Although I say that, Xiao Mo's power composition is very complex, and I have a bad feeling about it. Even Lord Veldora finds it tricky. Then I suppose I should help Lord Jupiter, though I feel like I can't really help with much. Notification. Ifrit's horn has finished decomposing. Authorization fully opened. Creating new species. Eternal spirit. Acquired brand new form. Flame demon god, flame martial god. What is an eternal spirit? Wang Yimou, who was lying down reading manga, was dumbfounded. He thought he was getting a skill, not a little brother. Notification. Insufficient authority, unable to explain. Why isn't it an order spirit? Notification. Order spirit is his subordinate. Did I pull a red card? Those two forms probably aren't ordinary either. I should try them out if I get the chance. Wang Yimou didn't understand where the eternal part came from. But someone inside the consciousness space understood. Watching the glowing order fragments reveal high-level power, the black shadow stomped its feet in anger. No way, you can't do that. First come, first served. I haven't even used that power yet. Hee hee. A light, ethereal laugh came. Ah, that guy was throwing a tantrum. Summon eternal spirit. As a summoning circle formed, an entity appeared. It looked like Ifrit, except the flames around it had turned into glowing sacred runes. It had golden eyes and pale skin. Why did he give it a medical beauty treatment? And a suit of armor gradually formed on its body, clinging tightly to it. A faceplate appeared on its face, refer to the base skin of Kali from Law. It was extremely oppressive but filled with holiness and majesty. What is this? Xiao Mo, explain. Rimuru was startled by the suddenly appearing eternal spirit, but it was obvious this was Wang Yimou's doing. I absorbed one of Ifrit's horns earlier, and it just ended up like this. Wang Yimou spread his hands, indicating he wasn't sure. I see. So you got another subordinate. What's it called? Rimuru wasn't worried. After all, Wang Yimou's subordinates were no different from his own. It doesn't have a name yet. Then what do you plan to call it? Ifrit, lit, Yegrit. Just change two characters, it's easy to remember. Wang Yimou was bad at naming things, so he decided to keep it simple. Yegrit, huh, that works. Rimuru poked his cheek with a pen while thinking, but didn't interfere. This was Wang Yimou's own subordinate. Then it's decided. Yegrit. Name confirmed. Yegrit. Subordinate Yegrit, at your service. Introduce your skills. Yes. My skills are Order Legion Summoning, Eternal Fire, Order Judgment, Eternal Protection. Order Legion. Both of them became interested in this skill. Yes. The Order Legion can currently only summon 10 Order Spirit Knights and 10 Order Spirit Archers. Summon them and let's see. Yegrit raised his hand toward the window, and a magic circle appeared on the open ground. Immediately, 20 spirits emerged in response to the summons. Their aura was weaker than Yegrit's, but they exuded a formidable, murderous intent. They looked professional, fully equipped, and moved in perfect unison, just like the orderly elven army in The Hobbit. That's really not bad, Xiao Mo. I'm thinking about whether to have them help us train the newly formed army. Rimuru turned to look at Wang Yimou. That's what I was thinking too, Rimuru. Wang Yimou looked at Rimuru, and they understood each other without words. He called Rigurd over, told him about the Order Legion, and then had Rigurd take the Order Legion away to help with training. As for Yegrit, he stayed by Wang Yimou's side. I was wondering, does Tragan have subordinates too? With a thought, Tragan appeared in the room. The moment Tragan and Yegrit met, they started fighting. Boom. The office window, sofa, and table were all smashed. Rimuru was dumbfounded looking at the missing table, and Wang Yimou had been knocked to the ground by the sudden battle. You two, you'd better give me an explanation. Master, it's not that we wanted to fight. It's a soul-level suppression we can't control. We're like enemies the moment we meet. Tragan explained. Yegrit agreed. Is that so? Wang Yimou cracked his knuckles and carried the two troublemakers out through the broken window toward the forest. Boom. 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 Thud. 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 Tom the cat screamed. Rimuru shook his head helplessly at the three rascals. Good luck to them if they disturbed that guy's mood. Rimuru-sama, what happened? Gobta and his underlings, and Rigurd, would rush over immediately whenever there was movement at Rimuru's place, regardless of where they were. Looking at the mess in the room, Gobta started performing. Lord Rimuru, did you and Lord Jupiter have a fight? I saw Lord Jupiter go to the forest all huffy. You shouldn't fight like that, or you'll look like a violent woman. The little brother performed consistently. A violent woman. Three hash symbols appeared. A da. With a kick, he sent the kid flying into the forest where Wang Yimo was. Clapping his hands, Rimuru indicated that Mrs. Mood had improved again. After briefly explaining it to Rigard, they started cleaning up the mess in the room. Yo, little brother. Seeing the unconscious Gobta fly in for no reason, Wang Yimo probably knew the little brother had danced in a minefield again. Do you know you were wrong? Seeing the two kneeling on the ground with bruised and swollen faces, Wang Yimo wasn't in a good mood. Obediently asterisk 2. Are you going to fight again in the future? They shook their heads hurriedly. That's more like it. By the way, Tragon, do you have subordinates too? I do. I can summon 5 dragon lizards weaker than me. Then why didn't you say so earlier? You didn't ask. Tragon said nonchalantly, then hurriedly shut his mouth and lowered his head when he met Wang Yimo's murderous gaze. No matter where you are, you're both equally stupid. Yegrid added. Oh, yeah, right. Like you eternal ones are so smart. Tragon wasn't panicked at all. What did you say, you fool? I said you're a fool. The two heads bumped together again. Still itching for a beating. He dragged them back and beat them up again. Ow, ow, ow. We were wrong, master, we were wrong. After beating them to his heart's content, Wang Yimo brought them back home. Seeing Rimuru cleaning up the mess personally, he couldn't help but feel a twinge of heartache. Stop cleaning. These two did it, let them clean it up. It's okay, it has to be cleaned up anyway. Rimuru looked up and saw Wang Yimo's pained expression and gave in. Alright then, let them clean it up. Tragon, clean up. Yegrit, go give Rimuru a shoulder massage. I'm going to change the glass. Master, you should give Lord Rimuru a massage. I'll go change the glass. Yegrit hurriedly suggested, which hit the nail on the head regarding Rimuru's wishes. The reason was that although Tragon was unhappy with Yegrit's aura, they would have to work together in the future, so he had told Yegrit about the current situation between Rimuru and Wang Yimo. The two of them had tacitly formed a united front, thinking about their boss's happiness. And that led to the scene just now. That's really strange. Wang Yimo didn't understand but accepted it. So Wang Yimo started massaging Rimuru's shoulders. The pressure was just right and very comfortable. Rimuru closed his eyes and enjoyed it. No one made a sound, letting the two spend this moment in silence. It's very comfortable, Xiao Mo. I didn't expect you to know how to do this. I massaged my mother when I was a child. This is the first time I've massaged someone since then. Wang Yimo gently brushed aside Rimuru's hair, massaged Rimuru's neck gently, and then helped Rimuru twist his neck and massage the acupuncture points on his scalp and ears. I'm sorry, Xiao Mo. I didn't mean to. Rimuru felt very guilty for bringing up Wang Yimo's sad past. It's okay. I miss this feeling too. Wang Yimo whispered in Rimuru's ear. Rimuru closed his eyes and continued to enjoy Wang Yimo's massage. The years were quiet and good, except for the two guys who were swollen like pig heads cleaning the room quietly on the side. But neither Rimuru nor Wang Yimo was disturbed. The two of them enjoyed this strange peace. It seemed that a certain little brother was still lying in the forest, but that wasn't important. After the massage and tidying up the office, Rimuru was still working. After all, the workload had skyrocketed after being interrupted by those two unlucky kids. Wang Yimo, on the other hand, put them into the chaos space. Inside the chaos space, the two, a person and a dragon, were fighting so intensely they had lost all track of the world, and there was even someone tag teaming. Consciousness space. You dog, eternal, playing like this, huh? The pitch-black figure gritted its teeth so hard it seemed sparks would fly. Hey. Still cold and aloof. Screw you. Still breaking defenses and hurling insults. These things had nothing to do with Wang Yimo. Watching Rimuru work seriously, Wang Yimo felt a bit distracted. Looking at the village Rimuru was striving for, Wang Yimo didn't really understand why. Did Rimuru, who was pushed up by everyone at the beginning, have no choice? No, it could have just ignored everything, but it chose not to let them down. Why? Wang Yimo murmured. Why what, Xiao Mo? Rimuru stopped writing and looked at Wang Yimo, not knowing what it was talking about. Nothing. I will find the answer myself. Wang Yimo didn't answer but said something that left Rimuru confused. I see. Rimuru continued to look down at some issues that needed processing. I'm going out for a walk. Go ahead, go ahead. Wang Yimo walked on one of the few streets in the village, watching the villagers busy at work. It wanted to see more and understand more. Hello, Lord Jupiter. This was a goblin making small snacks. Lord Jupiter. The little goblin waved its arms and greeted him enthusiastically. Lord Jupiter, good day, my lord. Lord Jupiter. There were more and more people greeting him. Wang Yimo couldn't quite handle it, but it still greeted them kindly. More and more people surrounded Wang Yimo, and Wang Yimo chatted with everyone with a smile. Are you all adjusting to life in the village? Very well, Lord Jupiter. We are self-sufficient, have houses, and don't have to sleep in the open. We have protection, so we don't need to worry about beast attacks. We are learning dwarf technology, and life is becoming more and more convenient. It's truly great to be able to become subjects of you and Lord Rimuru. The crowd spoke all at once. Is that so? This is my and Rimuru's honor. Because of you, we have a place to call home. Wang Yimo smiled. The sense of alienation from this guy had disappeared, and it felt very comfortable. It seems, this is not bad either. Wang Yimo thought. Thank you for your hard work, Lord Jupiter. A goblin handed a food item similar to candied haws to Wang Yimo. You don't have to be so polite, everyone. If you don't accept it, that would be letting us down. Yes, yes, please accept it. We only have today because of you and Lord Rimuru. More and more things were handed to Wang Yimo. Not far away, Rigard watched Wang Yimo and cried with relief. He had been very afraid that this guy wouldn't get along with the villagers, but it seemed he had worried too much. Lord Rimuru was helping Lord Jupiter become more and more like a living person. Rigard took the initiative to help Wang Yimo hold the villagers' gifts. Hey, Rigard, why is everyone so nice to me? Is it really worth it? Of course, Lord Jupiter. You and Lord Rimuru gave us everything we have now, gave us names, gave us safety, and gave us dignity. You and Lord Rimuru have never treated us as slaves or low-level monsters, but as special individuals, as monsters with dignity. For you and Lord Rimuru, offering everything I have is worth it. The sunset stretched their shadows very long. Rigard. Yes, Lord Jupiter. Call me Xiao Mo from now on. It's more intimate. The expression on Wang Yimo's face couldn't be seen clearly. How can I do that? Listen to me, I permit you to do so. This, all right, Xiao Mo. Rigard shed happy tears. Looking at the Wang Yimo beside him, his eldest son was probably about this age too. It was really good. Thank you for your care all this time, Rigard. I'll have to trouble you more in the future. Wang Yimo looked up and looked at Rigard with sincerity. Xiao Mo, you and Lord Rimuru can leave it to me. Rigard was full of energy. Looking at Rigard crying and laughing, Wang Yimo laughed loudly, and Rigard laughed too. The shadows grew longer and longer, one big and one small. Returning to the office, Rimuru looked at the pile of things Wang Yimo was holding and was a little surprised. You didn't rob the villagers, did you, Xiao Mo? Rimuru joked. They were the ones who took the initiative to let me rob them. Wang Yimo was in a good mood. Yo, our Xiao Mo is so popular. Rimuru stroked its chin with one hand and looked at Wang Yimo. Yeah, I didn't expect myself to be so popular either. Wang Yimo raised an eyebrow. Then why don't you become the leader of the village? No, I don't want to be a workhorse. Wang Yimo leaned its hands on the desk, leaning forward close to Rimuru, blinking its big eyes in protest. Rimuru blushed for a moment, then reached out and rubbed Wang Yimo's face and said, if you don't do it, you're making me the workhorse, right, Xiao Mo? Who told everyone to trust you the most? If you don't be the workhorse, who will? Wang Yimo did not show weakness and reached out to rub Rimuru's head. After playing for a while, Rimuru finished the final work, and Wang Yimo fed the snacks given by the villagers to Rimuru one by one. Still has a bit of conscience. Rimuru thought. Can't let the workhorse run away. Wang Yimo thought. Finally, Rimuru finished and stretched, saying it was exhausted. Let's go, Xiao Mo, let's go for a stroll. Rimuru suggested. Wang Yimo had placed many of the villagers' crafts, wood carvings, stone carvings, and so on, in the room. Oh, okay. The two walked side by side on the village path. Like the afternoon, many villagers came to greet them. With Rimuru there, the enthusiasm was even greater. Wang Yimo stood by, smiling and gloating. Rimuru was crowded on all sides. Don't just watch the fun, Xiao Mo. Rimuru called for help. Wang Yimo then maintained order for a bit. However, Rimuru had many more gifts from the villagers on it. Lord Jupiter, was the afternoon snack delicious? It's Uncle Michelin. It was delicious. Make more next time, and add some sugar, thank you. Lord Jupiter, how is the meat? Is it delicious? Very fresh, thank you. Lord Jupiter. Watching Wang Yimo interact kindly with everyone, Rimuru felt that this guy seemed to have come alive a bit. Having been busy for so long in exchange for this result, it was really worth it. At least Xiaomo could smile happily and get along very well. Wang Yimo and Rimuru were each holding some things, with Wang Yimo holding more. Seeing that Wang Yimo couldn't free up its hands, Rimuru gathered courage and reached out with its left hand to hold the corner of Wang Yimo's clothes. Wang Yimo noticed but didn't stop it and didn't think much about it. If it wants to hold it, let it hold it. Rimuru blushed and lowered its head, while Wang Yimo looked at it, carefully watching the road ahead for it. The two walked home like this. Although they didn't eat a meal, they were full from being fed. Wang Yimo went to its room to take a bath, and Rimuru also took a bath in its own room. After bathing, Rimuru put a stone carving of the two of them on the bedside. The stone carving showed human form Wang Yimo and slime Rimuru. Wang Yimo was sitting and holding Rimuru, and Rimuru was snuggled in Wang Yimo's arms. When Wang Yimo finished bathing and dried its hair, it saw Rimuru still waiting at the door. Come in, I'll fix your hair. It's not good to sleep with it wet. Rimuru obediently walked into Wang Yimo's room and sat down in front of the table with a mirror. Wang Yimo used magicals to control the air, giving it the effect of a hair dryer. Wang Yimo combed Rimuru's hair while blowing it dry, but its hand always touched Rimuru's neck. In front of the mirror, Rimuru blushed, and Wang Yimo didn't notice. After the hair was dry, Wang Yimo went to bed first and lay down, looking at Rimuru, who was sitting there motionless, with confusion. What are you doing, Rimuru? I left a spot for you, come on. Ah, okay. Rimuru blushed and lay on the bed with its back to Wang Yimo, motionless. Strange guy. Wang Yimo was confused and fell asleep on its own. Listening to Wang Yimo's even breathing, Rimuru was speechless at this oblivious guy, but looking at Wang Yimo's quiet, peaceful sleep, Rimuru seemed to have an idea. With lightning speed, it pecked Wang Yimo on the forehead, then quickly turned around to sleep. It was a pity that its blushing face betrayed its excited mood. Ah, what am I doing? Rimuru blushed. Wang Yimo's arm arrived late but arrived, hugging Rimuru, and it seemed to sleep better. But Rimuru was different. Rimuru kissed Wang Yimo's forehead. She had originally intended to distance herself, calm down, and then sleep, but Wang Yimo directly leaked over. The two of them slept together, one sleeping soundly, the other with a heart pounding wildly. Perhaps due to sleeping habits, Wang Yimo held Rimuru tightly. Rimuru's back was pressed against Wang Yimo's chest, feeling the steady breath of the person behind her on her neck, like a gentle caress, and sensing Wang Yimo's strong heartbeat, which seemed especially loud in the quiet night. This Xiao Mo, he couldn't have stayed awake, could he? Then would he really know what I just did? Rimuru thought, her face reddening, and the more she thought, the redder her face became. Carefully turning over, she saw Wang Yimo sleeping soundly, and Rimuru inwardly sighed in relief. But looking at Wang Yimo's rosy lips, Rimuru seemed to blush again. No, this must be done while conscious. However, Rimuru looked at Wang Yimo's fair neck and felt a flutter again. This should be fine. She leaned in gently, slightly parted her lips, slowly pressed them against Wang Yimo's neck, and gently, slowly sucked. Rimuru's face grew redder and redder, because she extended her tongue and lightly brushed it against Wang Yimo's neck. Wang Yimo only felt an itch on his neck, as if something had bitten him, and then something smooth had brushed across his neck. After all that, Rimuru looked at her masterpiece on Wang Yimo's neck and smiled. Putting my mark on Xiao Mo. Hee hee. Rimuru fell asleep with satisfaction. The next day at noon. Rimuru, explain to me what this is. Wang Yimo pointed at the red mark on his neck, questioning Rimuru. He woke up that day feeling nothing, hadn't noticed the mark on his neck, and had changed clothes, planning to go eat something. Walking down the street, he saw Rigard and intended to greet him. Xiao Mo, what happened to your neck? Rigard pointed to Rimuru's masterpiece from last night. What is it? Wang Yimo was puzzled. Your house shouldn't have mosquitoes, right? That's strange. Are you uncomfortable, Xiao Mo? Wang Yimo lowered his head to look closely, and there was a hickey between his neck and collarbone. For a moment, it was as if an old train sped past. Woo woo woo. Chug chug chug, woo woo. Then Wang Yimo's face turned red as if congested. Who am I? Where am I? Who did this? Rimuru, are you really that restless in your sleep? Wang Yimo gritted his teeth in anger. And so, the scene from just now occurred. Explain, what is this? Ah ha ha, you found out. Nonsense. Fortunately, Rigard and the others don't know what this is, otherwise I'd be utterly humiliated. Will it be very humiliating? Rimuru felt slightly disappointed. It's not exactly humiliating, just very embarrassing. Seeing Rimuru's disappointment, Wang Yimo's anger subsided by half. Then what do you want to do, Xiao Mo? Rimuru was a little happy again. Xiao Mo wasn't rejecting it. Of course I'm biting back, Rimuru. If there's humiliation, we'll share it. Wang Yimo smirked and pounced on Rimuru. Like a vampire embracing its prey, Wang Yimo opened his mouth, still choosing to gently bite the same spot Rimuru had bitten last night. Wang Yimo, realizing it belatedly, moved gently, feeling shy, but then thinking that he was already here, he lightly opened his mouth and bit down. It wasn't sucking, but rather using his teeth to leave two shallow rows of tooth marks between Rimuru's collarbone and neck. Rimuru, on the other hand, held Wang Yimo's head with both hands, gently stroking Wang Yimo's hair with her right hand. Rimuru was also very shy, her face flushed, but her gaze towards Wang Yimo was full of love. Wang Yimo was also shy and remained pressed against Rimuru's neck, not moving for a long time. Slowly opening his mouth, a transparent strand of saliva stretched between Wang Yimo's mouth and Rimuru's neck due to the prolonged contact. Both of them noticed this scene and instantly blushed intensely. Wang Yimo quickly took out a tissue and thoroughly wiped Rimuru's neck. Rimuru, meanwhile, blushed at the thought of last night being the same. Wang Yimo finished his revenge and slowly got up, leaving the office. Thump. The door closed loudly. Rimuru checked the bite marks Wang Yimo had left on her and couldn't help but smile. Dumb Xiao Mo, he didn't know how to give a hickey, leaving such cute bite marks. Rimuru gently caressed the marks Wang Yimo left. Outside the door, Wang Yimo leaned against it, not leaving. His face was very red, and he didn't know what he was thinking. So shy, why do I feel this way? Wang Yimo's face was flushed, and his eyes had turned into dots, clearly indicating CPU overload. He shook his head and quickly fled the scene. I'll go drink with Kaijin, yes, that's decided. Wang Yimo just wanted to escape. Rimuru watched Wang Yimo, who was fleeing as if for his life, from the window and smiled happily. Completely a child, Xiao Mo. Kaijin's blacksmith shop. Oh, Lord Jupiter, it's you. What brings you to me? Kaijin looked at Wang Yimo, who had rushed over in a hurry, with some confusion. Wang Yimo pulled his clothes tighter, covering Rimuru's mark. Let's go have a drink, Mr. Kaijin. Why the sudden urge to drink? Does Lord Rimuru know? Kaijin was puzzled. Why should she know? We'll just drink by ourselves. Alright, then let's have a drink together, Lord Jupiter. Don't be so formal, just call me Xiao Mo. Ha 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 ha, alright, Xiao Mo. So they found a spot, lit a fire, roasted a wild beast, and drank wine brought from the dwarf kingdom. With glasses clinking and the temperature rising, Wang Yimo still revealed Rimuru's mark. Oh tilde, not bad, Xiao Mo. Kaijin's sharp eyes immediately spotted it. Who would have thought Rimuru bites people in her sleep? Wang Yimo felt rather helpless and a bit shy. Rigard also joined in, secretly asking Kaijin what it meant. After Kaijin explained, Rigard had an, I see, expression, which made Wang Yimo dumbfounded. Looking at the dazed Wang Yimo, Kaijin and Rigard just smirked and continued drinking. Yo everyone, still drinking? Rimaru's voice came through. Yes, Rimaru-sama. Kaijin and Rigard dropped their wine glasses, very surprised. What's wrong? Rimaru was a bit at a loss. Kaijin pointed to the bite mark on Rimaru's neck. Oh, this. It's Xiao Mo's revenge. Isn't it cute, like a little puppy? Rimaru smiled genuinely. Wang Yimo buried his face, extremely shy. Rigard tugged at Rimaru and asked her about her situation with Wang Yimo. Rimaru generously admitted that she was currently teaching Wang Yimo about love, but Wang Yimo hadn't quite caught on yet. Kaijin and Rigard gave Rimaru a thumbs up, showing their support. Rimaru smiled, looking at the shy Wang Yimo, and slowly walked over. Are you still angry, Xiao Mo? Rimaru sat next to Wang Yimo. No, no way. Wang Yimo pouted and turned his head away, not daring to look directly at Rimaru. Rimaru came out so openly without hiding anything. Was I too excessive, making a mountain out of a molehill? Wang Yimo thought this. I'm sorry, Rimaru. Wang Yimo lowered his head, no longer interested in drinking. Rimaru was taken aback by this sudden apology. Why are you apologizing, Xiao Mo? I went too far. You just did it accidentally in your sleep, but I deliberately bit you. It wasn't accidental at all. But Xiao Mo is so innocent. Rimaru thought this. It's alright, Xiao Mo, it's not your fault. I just bit down last night because of the pleasant scent while I was sleeping. Rimaru smiled and stroked Wang Yimo's head, as if comforting a large, unloved dog. Wang Yimo looked up and saw everyone looking at him with mischievous smiles, making him shy. Stop petting me, Rimaru, I'm not a dog. Wang Yimo was slightly displeased. Is that so? But the dog just bit me. Rimaru didn't stop her hand. If you keep this up, I won't talk to you anymore. Alright, our little friend Xiao Mo, come have a skewer. Rimaru picked up a meat skewer and held it to Wang Yimo's mouth. Woof. Wang Yimo instinctively bit into it. The others also laughed and continued drinking and eating meat. I didn't forgive Rimaru because of the meat, absolutely not. It's so delicious. Everyone continued drinking and eating meat, but Rimaru's eyes were constantly on Wang Yimo, watching him smile, watching him make trouble, watching him drink with Kaijin and the others and act silly together. Just like the language of sunflowers. My eyes are all on you. After finishing their drinks and saying their goodbyes, Wang Yimo and Rimaru were walking back. Why not teleport? Because it was Rimaru's request. Wang Yimo had his hands in his pockets, looking very relaxed, while Rimaru had her hands clasped behind her back. The street was only lit by torches, the faint firelight causing their shadows to intertwine. Rimaru loved walking together quietly like this. How many days has it been since we left? It's been about 10 days or so since we came out of the cave. Time flies. We went from just leaning on each other to having a whole group of people now. Yeah, who would have thought we'd end up with a home, a place that needs guarding, people who need protecting, and a reason to give our all. Wang Yimo summarized earnestly. Yeah, I even have someone I like, someone I love, someone to whom I will dedicate my life. Rimaru thought to herself. Looking at the necklace around her neck, Rimaru asked Wang Yimo a question. What kind of engraving magic is in these necklaces? The red one is attack magic, the green one is protection magic, the yellow one is teleportation magic, the blue one is communication magic, and I won't tell you about the purple one. I don't hope for the day you need to use them. Wang Yimo explained to Rimaru very seriously. I see, that's very thoughtful, Xiao Mo. Of course, you are my family, one of the most important people to me. Is this a confession, Xiao Mo? That doesn't count. Rimaru leaned forward, slightly ahead of Wang Yimo, turning her body to the side with her hands still behind her back, playfully sticking out her tongue to tease Wang Yimo. Well, Rimaru, you're actually teasing me. Wang Yimo felt a bit shy and annoyed. I'm not joking, Xiao Mo. If you aren't going to sleep properly tonight, go sleep in your own room. Ah tilde, so heartless. What if someone has a nightmare? Rimaru continued to tease, fearless of death. Wang Yimo put one arm around Rimaru and used his other hand to mess up Rimaru's hair. You need to be disciplined, Rimaru. Wang Yimo also felt that this one had become quite bold lately. Alright, Xiao Mo, I won't tease you anymore. Rimaru's voice was gentle, like she was coaxing a child. Wang Yimo let go of Rimaru, and Rimaru reached out with her left hand to hold Wang Yimo's right hand. What are you doing? Afraid of the dark. As expected of a straight man who would remain single even if the world ended. Who's afraid of the dark? I just want to hold your hand so you don't get lost. Rimaru explained, her heart pounding and face flushed. Seeing Rimaru's flushed face, Wang Yimo thought he had guessed correctly. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone if you're afraid of the dark. If you want to hold hands, then just hold them. A beautiful misunderstanding, a wonderful ending. Rimaru agreed softly, though it was unclear if it was about the fear of the dark or the hand holding. This was also Wang Yimo's first time holding a girl's hand. It was soft and small, like a toy that could be manipulated at will, and it felt very comfortable. It was also Rimaru's first time holding hands. The large palm enveloping her own was a very novel sensation, warm, comfortable, and very secure. Wang Yimo quickened his pace slightly, causing Rimaru to stumble. Let's hurry home, Rimaru. Wang Yimo turned his head back. The eyes of heaven looked exceptionally beautiful at night. Those charismatic eyes brought an unprecedented sense of reassurance. He held Rimaru's hand without letting go. Rimaru was momentarily dazed, as Wang Yimo spoke words that made her heart race in the most ordinary tone. Alright, let's go home, back to the home that belongs to us. Rimaru nodded, and together with Wang Yimo, they walked home quickly. Let's get this straight, if you bite me again, you're sleeping in your own room. No. Rimaru sat on the bed wearing a blue one-piece pajama, shaking her head like a rattle to refuse. It's not up for negotiation. Wang Yimo remained unmoved. Rimaru was sitting in a butterfly sitting position on the bed, pulling on Wang Yimo's arm and acting spoiled. No, Xiaomo is so heartless. Rimaru felt as if she had been abandoned. Why does it feel like I'm the scumbag who abandoned his wife at home? Wang Yimo grimaced helplessly. Xiaomo just wants to abandon me, woo, am I not appealing? Rimaru pretended to cry and make a scene. I've really had enough of you. Bite if you want. Everyone knows anyway, and no one dares to point fingers at me. Wang Yimo chose to give in. Yay, Xiaomo is the best. Saying this, Rimaru pounced into Wang Yimo's arms. Wang Yimo wasn't sitting properly to begin with, so this pounce knocked him over directly. Rimaru had her hands on either side of Wang Yimo's head, her face directly facing his. The two stared at each other, the position becoming somewhat ambiguous, and Wang Yimo blushed a little. How about you get down first, Rimaru? No. Rimaru said these two words with a flushed face. But, tisk tisk tisk, it hurts. Wang Yimo had just opened his mouth when he was bitten on the neck by Rimaru, who was on top of him. Wang Yimo looked at Rimaru, who was lying on top of him. His neck felt itchy and wet, and he couldn't figure out where to put his hands. So, Wang Yimo put one arm around Rimaru's waist. The moment he made contact, Rimaru shivered, then sucked a bit harder, while his other hand toyed with Rimaru's hair. After a long while, Rimaru raised her head, a silver thread hanging from the corner of her mouth. Her face turned bright red instantly, and she wiped the thread from her mouth, while also wiping Wang Yimo's neck. When did you start liking to bite people, Rimaru? Wang Yimo's hand that was toying with Rimaru's hair shifted to gently stroke Rimaru's chin. Rimaru followed Wang Yimo's hand and raised her head, resting her chin on his hand. It was very cute, with an expression of, do as you please, if one ignored her flushed cheeks. In this position, one would generally kiss. Thinking of this, Rimaru shivered. Wang Yimo found the slightly stiff Rimaru funny. Are you afraid of me? No, it's not that. Then why are you so stiff? Afraid I'll eat you. Wang Yimo leaned close to Rimaru's ear and said softly. Just as Rimaru was about to reply, Wang Yimo opened his mouth and gently bit the tip of Rimaru's ear, making Rimaru's delicate body shiver. Xiao Mo, what are you doing? Rimaru's face was beet red, and her voice became much thinner. Ha ha ha, just teasing you. Wang Yimo let go and laughed at the way Rimaru looked like she was facing a formidable enemy. That'll teach you to tease me. Ha ha, checkmate. Wang Yimo assumed the posture of a victor. Rimuru was truly speechless, pounding her hands against Wang Yimou's chest. Ouch, ouch, my bad, my bad. I won't do it again, Rimuru. This is actually quite nice. Rimuru thought to herself. HMPH. Rimuru buried her head directly into Wang Yimou's chest and remained motionless. Do you want to sleep like this? Wang Yimou asked, a bit puzzled. Sleep. Rimuru's voice trembled, whether from still being angry or not having recovered yet, it was unclear. Alright. Wang Yimou didn't mind, but to prevent Rimuru from sliding down, he held her tighter. Now it was even harder for Rimuru to sleep. Rimuru, you've become much happier lately. Can you tell me why? No. I'm waiting for you to say these words yourself. Oh, well, the way Rigard and the others look at us in the village is a bit strange. Good grief. Rimuru sat up, though she was effectively straddling Wang Yimou's waist. Because I like you, happy now. I don't believe this joke. Then why do you keep asking? I'm just curious. But you wouldn't believe it even if I told you. Because I'm a boy, I don't believe you like me. Idiot, I'm already female. Oh. Rimuru lay back down on Wang Yimou's chest. Looking at the limp Rimuru, Wang Yimou just felt strange. Why do I feel inexplicably happy? Whenever Rimuru gets close to me, it's like this. He treats me like a puppy, so I'll treat her like a kitten. Wang Yimou thought to himself, just treating her like a pet kitten. You said I'm a puppy, then you're my kitten. Wang Yimou said it just like that, naturally. Big brother, you don't want a soft, cute girl, so you treat me like a kitten. Fine, kitten it is. At least there's no pressure to cuddle and bite. When you finally figure it out, I'll turn back into a cute girl. This was what Rimuru was thinking. Sure, meow. Rimuru went along with it, slightly lifting her head from Wang Yimou's chest to look at him. You're so cute. Wang Yimou hugged Rimuru tighter and pressed his face against hers. Rimuru blushed and hugged Wang Yimou back. The first time sleeping on Wang Yimou's chest. To the northwest of the Goblin village, on the outskirts of the Jura Great Forest, lay a village established by the Ogre clan. This was back on the day Rimuru and Wang Yimou emerged from the cave. Lord Chief, Lord Veldora has disappeared. The Dryads cannot protect the entire forest. Should we advance toward the center of the forest to acquire more resources? A trusted subordinate reported. I have the same intention. Although the Dryads have strength, the forest is simply too vast. As long as we do not slaughter indiscriminately and instead rule over the weak, intelligent monsters, perhaps they will not stop us, the Ogre clan chief mused for a moment. Father, does that mean we need to make preparations early? At this time, Benimaru, who had not yet been named, was in the chief's office listening to the clan meeting. Although we have the idea of advancing, we cannot lower our guard. The disappearance of Lord Veldora will inevitably attract many powerful beings. Although our ogre clan is strong, our numbers are too few. We would be overwhelmed if faced with a large number of monsters and humans. The chief lived up to his title, he certainly had foresight. The chief is right. We should find some weak tribes to serve as vassals to alleviate the disadvantage of our low numbers. Currently, the orcs are stirring, and the lizardmen in the swamp region are not to be trifled with, they have a large number of goblins as vassals. I believe we should also look for goblins, after all, their weakness is plain for all to see. Exactly. Goblins need protection, and we need manpower. Although they are not strong, they make up for it in numbers. You go, my son, go and recruit the goblin tribes. The chief set the agenda for the future. Everyone was to quickly increase their strength, recruit goblins, and prepare to advance into the forest. Walking out of the chief's office, he saw a cute pink-haired figure swaying back and forth in front of him. He reached out and grabbed the pink-haired one's head, shaking it back and forth. Ah, Ni-san, you're so annoying. It was the cute ogre clan princess. What are you doing here, little sister? The young master looked doting. The whole family consisted of only the three of them, father, sister, and himself, and this little ogre princess was the apple of the entire clan's eye, spoiled to the extreme. Hee, I heard everything. I want to go with Ni-san too. The little princess covered half her mouth with her wide sleeve, revealing her little fangs, and looked at the young master with a beaming smile. But, Going out will always be dangerous. I don't care, I want to go out and play too. But, I don't want to. I really can't handle you. Fine, I'll find you a bodyguard. Young master, I am here. This was the future Soe. Yo ho ho, then this old man shall also contribute. This was the sword demon. The princess is going out. Then I'm going too. This was the purple-haired one. Why are you joining in the fun? The young master was stunned. He had just assembled a team. Do you bunch of grown men know how to take care of a princess? I'll follow to protect her personally. At this time, the purple-haired one still looked quite fierce. All right, I give up. But we are going out on a mission, so don't drag us down. The young master put his hands on his hips, expressing his helplessness. Ha ha ha, very good. I'll leave it to you all. The chief also witnessed the formation of this team. Guarantee to complete the mission. The energetic ones were the princess and the purple-haired one. The ones who remained silent but knelt on one knee and bowed their heads were the ninja and the sword demon. The one bowing was the young master. I really can't think of what to call them, so let's just leave it at this. I was originally worried you might get the timeline confused. I leave it to you. After dismissing, everyone went to get their equipment. The young master wore a set of cherry blossom-themed Sengoku samurai armor. The princess didn't prepare much, just wearing lighter clothing. The purple-haired one took out a huge decapitation sword and carried it on her shoulder. The old sword demon had only one incredibly sharp blade, while the ninja carried two swords on his back. The ogre clan just looked tough to mess with, they were fierce. The five of them packed their equipment and left the village, departing under the gaze of the chief. Not long after leaving the village, the young master took out the tribal map drawn by the clan to find the goblin village closest to them. Having determined it was only a few hundred meters away, they walked over easily. The goblin village could be seen at a glance, consisting of only a few straw huts and a group of malnourished, scrawny goblins. The goblins were trembling as they held wooden weapons and tattered, discarded weapons toward them. What are you here for? The leading goblin's voice was trembling with fear. We are the ogre clan, and I am the young master of the ogre clan. We have come to discuss something with you. The young master took a step forward to state his position. Your ogre clan has never had any grievances with us. If you have something to say it now. The old man leading the village slowly appeared, speaking in a calm tone, though still with a hint of fear. Our ogre clan plans to vie for supremacy in the Jura Great Forest, so you goblins are the targets we wish to recruit. We will not send you to your deaths, we only require you to provide us with assistance in exchange for our protection. The ogre clan young master's tone was unquestionable and carried enough confidence. He believed the weak goblins had no choice at all. I suppose we have no choice. Enough nonsense. Join or die. The hot-tempered purple-haired one performed as expected. Hey, don't be so excessive. The princess pulled the purple-haired one back. We don't mean to threaten you, it's just mutual benefit. The young master came out to smooth things over, though in reality, who didn't know the purple-haired one was telling the truth. Sigh, alright, I agree. I will immediately bring the whole village closer to your ogre clan territory. The village chief sighed, because weakness is the original sin, life and death are nothing but a matter of someone else's word. The first village is done just like that. The purple-haired one clearly felt it was boring. What else? Slaughter them all and then make them surrender. The young master clearly guessed what the purple-haired one wanted to do. Exactly, efficient and easy. The purple-haired one was very satisfied with that approach. We need them alive to help, not as a pile of corpses. The princess explained from the side. That's really troublesome. The purple-haired one was boisterous. Ha ha ha, still the same as always. The old sword demon laughed kindly. The ninja said nothing, simply scouting from the trees. The group walked along talking and laughing, the beautiful scenery along the way and the fearless monsters added quite a bit of fun. As for that fearless monster, it was an armored lizard. As the four walked along the road, the ninja came to the young master and said, not far ahead, there is an armored lizard. Estimated rank is B. Shall we fight? Of course. My hands are itching for a fight. The purple-haired one's fanaticism and love for battle were vividly displayed. Good grief, let's go then. Consider it practice. The young master was helpless, but he also wanted to fight. It's clearly Big Brother who wants to fight. The princess saw through everything. It doesn't matter. Although this old man is aged, my blade is as sharp as it was in my prime. The old sword demon was also chuckling, clearly not taking it seriously. Thus, the few ogres quickly rushed toward the armored lizard. The armored lizard had discovered a small goblin village and was wreaking havoc. Roar. The armored lizard roared, using its scales, which had the strength of refined steel armor, to block the goblins' attacks. With just a flick of its tail, it kicked up dust everywhere. Under the tail swipe, none of the goblins in its path survived, leaving only a trail of bloodstains. We made it in time. Has it started causing trouble on the first day of Lord Veldora's disappearance? The young master frowned, looking at the devastation and the countless dead and injured goblins. After all, if they lacked strong power, the goblins' fate would be their own, so he desperately hoped to increase their strength. Ha! The purple-haired one raised her great sword and slashed directly at the armored lizard's head. Although the tremendous force failed to break through its defense, it kicked up a wave of air. The armored lizard's head was forced down slightly by the blow, and it was clearly enraged after being ambushed like this. Ogre Crimson Flame. The young master hurriedly followed up with damage. The ninja held his twin blades and quickly slashed at the armored lizard's joints, attempting to find a flaw or weak point. Flames burned on the armored lizard's body. Feeling itself being constantly attacked, the armored lizard raised its head and roared, and then those scales, hard as iron yet sharp, exploded outward in all directions. A large number of scales flew toward the group. The young master used a firewall to create a safe space for everyone, but some scales still broke through the defense. Seeing this, the sword demon acted in time. One could see his blade unsheath and resheath in an instant. In the air, there were no less than a dozen slash marks visible. Cling, 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 cling. It was the sound of metal colliding. All the scales that broke through the firewall were sliced in half and fell to the ground. The sky grew dark. Behind the firewall were the members of the ogre clan, and outside the firewall was the armored lizard, eyes red, having already regrown its scales. The puppet nation, Clayman's castle. Hey, Clayman, don't be careless. You should rely on us more. The moderate clown, Laplace, sat on the sofa, holding a glass of red wine, looking at Clayman with an unreadable expression. That's right, Clayman. You're the weakest among us, so you need to be extra careful. The tearful clown, Tia. Exactly, just feel free to rely on us. The angry clown, Fortman. Heh, Laplace, Fortman, Tia, I have an excellent plan to take revenge on Leon Cromwell, and it will also boost our reputation. Clayman held his red wine glass, swirling it elegantly. The color of the red wine reflected in his eyes, looking both insane and elegant. You'd better have a solid plan, but regardless, we will help you. Laplace shrugged, stood up, and patted Clayman on the shoulder. Yes, your help will ensure the plan goes smoothly. Laughter gradually echoed from the castle. This country is absolutely rotten. A middle-aged man walked along the road, complaining as he looked at the poorly maintained infrastructure and the smog-filled town. That's enough. At least we're still alive, right? His companion interrupted his complaints. What's the point of living like this? Might as well be dead. The demon lord is just as bad. His companion didn't interrupt him again because Imogen under Clayman had arrived. What are you saying, you lowly peasant? You dare to be dissatisfied with the demon lord? Tired of living, are you? The bird-masked man picked up a whip and whipped the complaining man repeatedly. Ah, ah, ah. Screams echoed throughout the street. Take a good look. This is the consequence of opposing demon lord Clayman. I advise you all to be obedient. The bird-masked man said, his hands not idle as he continued to strike. He left sullenly only after the man on the ground could no longer let out a wail. The companion hurriedly hoisted the man, who was about to lose consciousness, onto his back and ran toward the nearest doctor's house. Hey, Tetsuya, don't die. Shin, tell me, will evil ever be judged in this country? Tetsuya was already extremely weak, barely managing to keep his spirits up. I don't know. But I do know that if you don't survive, you won't see that day arrive. Wouldn't that be a shame? Shin ran quickly, carrying Tetsuya. Even with a man on his back, Shin's speed did not diminish. Doctor, please save Tetsuya. He's not going to make it. Shin kicked open the doctor's door. Tisk, sigh. This Majin's whip was coated in poison. It can't be cured. He won't live for more than half a year at most. The doctor shook his head, sighing helplessly while feeling sorry for Tetsuya. He could only perform simple treatment on the whip wounds. It's okay, Shin. You should leave this country. With your physique, you can become very strong. I hope you will be one of the people who saves this country in the future. Tetsuya smiled, seemingly having come to terms with it. Go to other countries to train, travel through the Jura Great Forest to see the vast world, meet more powerful people, and then look for an opportunity to liberate this country. Then you must wait for me. I will definitely save you. Shin fought back tears. Faced with his childhood friend's tone, which sounded almost like a final farewell, he could only suppress the sadness in his heart. I will, Shin. I'll be waiting for the day you return as a hero. Okay. Shin and Tetsuya clasped hands, sealing their vow of liberation. Shin went home and packed his things. He was going to set off, and the first step was to leave Demon Lord Clayman's territory. Meanwhile, in Clayman's castle, Clayman summoned his subordinate, the bird-masked man. I have a task for you. Go find me a few candidates for Demon Lord. Go to the Jura Great Forest. Veldora has disappeared, and this is the perfect opportunity for me to expand my influence. Yes, Lord Clayman. To give you confidence, I bestow upon you the name Gloomid. A flash of brilliant light passed, and the bird-masked man evolved, becoming a Majin with the power to bestow names. At the same time, Clayman gave him two items, a magical gathering staff and a communication crystal ball. Thus, Gloomid set off. He first went to the place in the Jura Great Forest where Veldora disappeared to investigate, and then went to other places to look for Demon Lord candidates. With Clayman's help, he arrived at the cave where Veldora resided in less than a day. After confirming that Veldora's magicals had disappeared, he encountered the early Rigurd village and casually bestowed the name Rigur upon the eldest son. At that time, Wang Yimo was evolving in the cave, and Rimuru was accompanying him and did not come out. At this very moment, because Shin had left his city and lacked a travel permit, he had become an unaffiliated life form within the Demon Lord's territory. This meant he was in a very dangerous situation. Although the Demon Lord did not restrict his subordinates, for the sake of regional development, his subordinates could not kill people at will, with the exception of cadres, which is why the bird-masked man was so unbridled. This puppet nation maintained the political system of a human kingdom on the surface, but in reality, it was controlled entirely by Clayman. Therefore, the kingdom's army did not actually protect humans. At most, they wouldn't kill them, but that would be considered kind. After all, under such a dark administration from top to bottom, how could the army cherish the people? The fact that there was no large-scale burning, killing, and looting was already considered restrained. This resulted in the army not regularly hunting monsters, leaving large dangerous zones outside the kingdom's cities. There were official roads between cities, but you needed to pay a commission to have someone protect you. Although the ruling system was dark, their reputation in this regard was decent. As long as you paid enough commission, they would ensure your safety. The moderate clown troupe was ultimately a mercenary-style organization, and they valued their reputation highly. After all, the fact that Clayman never betrayed Yuki in the end proves this. However, Shin was just an ordinary person. Where would he get the money to pay the commission? So, he had no choice but to risk traveling through the wilderness. Shin walked quietly, praying not to be discovered, as he had a good physique but no martial arts skills. He only knew that by heading west and passing through the Jura Great Forest, he could go to the Western nations, truly learn martial arts, and then be able to save this country. Shin had a goal, but he first had to survive and leave Clayman's territory. It was already night, the time when monsters hunted everywhere. Shin could only find a place to hide for now, as he had no ability to fight any of them. Lord Clayman, I am currently looking everywhere for monsters with potential, but so far I haven't found any good candidates. It's fine, there will be some eventually. But if you keep failing to find any, you know my methods. Yes, Lord Clayman. Gloomid trembled. He knew Clayman's methods well. Death was only the best case scenario. I don't want to die. I must hurry and find suitable guys. Next, I'll go look for the lizardmen. Gloomid started heading toward the swamp where the lizardmen lived. Besides Gloomid, the moderate clown troop had also begun their operations in various countries, gathering intelligence, looking for monsters, and scouting for visitors from other worlds. Laplace, I think it would be better for you to go to the Holy Empire. The vampire lord is too mysterious. Aside from Guy and Milam, who are difficult to deal with, I don't think you'll encounter any problems there. Clayman suggested to Laplace. The Holy Empire, huh? You really dare to think big, Clayman. I hope your plan doesn't fail, otherwise we're going to have a hard time. It was impossible to see the expression under Laplace's mask, but it was clear he didn't want any trouble. However, for the sake of the moderate clown troupe, he went. Indeed, with his strength, it was hard for anyone to kill him, and his escape skills were top-notch. Tia, Fortman, report the situation. Clayman had a backup plan in case something happened to Gloomid. Ho ho ho, Clayman. I haven't encountered any powerful monsters in the forest yet, but something terrifying has awakened in the cave. You'd better get your plan sorted, or I'll kill you. Tia's playful voice was full of killing intent. Powerful monsters. As long as they aren't at the same level of strength as Veldora, my plan won't fail. The conceited Clayman did not know that he was about to face two cheaters. Originally it was just one, but Wang Yimo's arrival had increased the difficulty of the dungeon countless times. If it weren't for Rimuru, Clayman might have succeeded, as Veldora's magicules would have dissipated eventually. Unfortunately, there are no ifs. Let us turn our perspective back to the ogre clan. This guy has some skill. The young master looked at the enraged armored lizard, his fighting spirit soaring. But it's just a bit troublesome. The most subtle flex is the deadliest. The sword demon prepared to draw his blade, the ninja stood ready, and the purple-haired one hoisted his greatsword, ready to strike. The little princess watched them from behind with eyes full of worry and trust. The confident young master swung his blade, pointing directly at the armored lizard. Then, round 2 begins. Attack! The young master commanded, and the ogre clan members immediately sprang into action. The ninja moved first, channeling power to strike directly at the weak point in the scales behind the joint of one of the armored lizard's front legs. Clang! A loud metallic crash rang out, throwing off a shower of sparks. Coordinating with him, the sword demon unleashed a flurry of blade strikes, even managing to carve a wound into a weak spot on the other front limb. Hiss! The armored lizard stumbled in pain. The purple-haired ogre leapt high, unleashing his strongest attack directly onto the lizard's head. A wound appeared on the giant lizard's skull, spilling a significant amount of green blood. Feeling its life threatened, the armored lizard opened its maw, preparing to devour the young master, who extended his hand as flames gathered at his palm. Ogre King Flame. The flames, more powerful than before, engulfed the giant lizard instantly. Watching the giant lizard thrashing about in the flames, the young master wore a faint smile. The ogre clan was a race destined for supremacy, so how could they lose to such a thing? In its death throes, the giant lizard spat out a glob of acidic saliva, an acid potent enough to dissolve flesh down to the bone. Young master, look out! The sword demon realized the creature was making a desperate final stand, but it was too late. Am I going to die here? The young master was stunned. Sizzle. That was the sound of the acidic substance bursting. I'm fine. The young master looked at himself, completely intact, and felt a bit puzzled. Turning around, he saw the magical barrier the princess had manifested to protect him. Brother, honestly, how could you be so careless? You almost died. The little princess hugged the young master, still shaken with fear. I know, I'll be careful from now on. The young master embraced his sister, gently stroking her hair. The others gathered around, and seeing that everyone was unharmed, they all breathed a sigh of relief. After the armored lizard died, the remaining surviving goblins approached, all expressing their desire to submit to the ogre clan. One relatively young goblin knelt before the young master, weeping bitterly. Mighty One, please allow me to follow you. I want to become strong, strong enough to protect my people. But the racial limit, the princess said with some concern, as goblins couldn't really become that strong. It's fine, let him follow. The desire to grow stronger is not wrong, and the heart to protect one's people is even more commendable. The young master was moved by his determination and agreed. Perhaps he would give up once he faced real danger, who knows? The princess didn't say anything more, though she looked at this determined goblin with a hint of pity. The battle here had attracted the attention of Gloomid, so he, along with Tia and Fortman, quickly arrived at the scene. Yo, Ogre Clan, will you submit to me? I am a subordinate of a demon lord, this is your supreme honor. Who goes there? The Ogre Clan immediately went on high alert. My name is Gloomid. As for the name of that great being, you are not yet worthy to know it. The bird-masked figure hovered in the air, holding a staff in his left hand and a crystal ball in his right, his eyes unreadable behind his lenses. However, the young master vaguely felt that following them would lead to no good, and perhaps even risk death. Submission. Why would my ogre clan need to submit? Either wipe us out completely, or get lost. Brimming with youthful spirit, the young master cursed at Gloomid. Hey, Gloomid, we aren't here to fight. Let's keep them alive as leveling material for the demon lord later, Tia suggested, seemingly not taking them seriously at all. An entire ogre clan sacrificed, I think that would certainly be useful. Fortman nodded, agreeing with Tia. You fools. The purple-haired ogre was furious and raised his greatsword, slashing toward where Tia and Fortman were standing. We don't have time to mess around with you, Tia said while dodging. The sword demon engaged Fortman. The purple-haired ogre raised his blade, smashing down, slashing horizontally from the left, turning for a diagonal slash to the right, followed by a jump and a spinning downward smash in midair. Tia merely dodged to the left, ducked, dodged left again, and then caught the blade with her bare hands. The purple-haired ogre hadn't expected Tia to be so strong. Despite him having the gravitational advantage in midair, he couldn't force his great sword down even an inch. The sword demon couldn't land a single hit on Fortman either, which made him knit his brows. It seemed the enemy was more dangerous than anticipated, truly worthy of being a demon lord's subordinate. Tia crouched, built up momentum, and thrust upward, knocking the purple-haired ogre away. Before he could land or defend himself, she flashed to his right side and delivered a powerful whip kick. The purple-haired ogre instinctively blocked with his arm, but he was sent flying several meters, only stopping when he crashed into a large tree. Ah! The purple-haired ogre let out a grunt and collapsed to the ground, unable to rise. The young master prepared to attack, while the ninja shielded the princess behind him. The newly joined goblin, seeing his savior beaten, also picked up his tattered weapon to guard the princess. Hey, you were the ones who attacked first. Tia looked visibly annoyed. Alright, Tia, let's go, otherwise I might not be able to resist killing them. A murderous aura radiated from beneath Fortman's mask. The sword demon had to remain vigilant and keep his distance, for if he fell, the young master and the others would be in danger. Well then, everyone, goodbye. This was Tia. I hope you all live to see that day. This was Fortman. Reject the demon lord, then remember to bear the consequences of his wrath. This was Gloomid. Have the demon lord's people already come to lay their hands on the Jura Great Forest so quickly? Veldora-sama has only just gone missing, and they are already breaking the agreement. The young master punched the tree in anger. Young master, they mean us harm. As of now, I am not entirely confident that we can fight them. The sword demon calmly delivered this unsettling news to the young master. How can that be? Even Grandpa Sword Demon can't. You must be joking. The princess covered her mouth in surprise. The purple-haired ogre, carried back by the ninja, clutched his injured arm as he staggered. Indeed, that short one's strength is extraordinary, I have no chance of winning. Majin Gloomid, is it? I'll remember you, and those two masked people as well. The young master realized that a fight with them was inevitable in the future, so he had to act immediately, gather more goblins and hurry toward the center of the forest. That way, with the dryads there, the pressure would be a little less. However, they had to rest in place for tonight. Today was the day before Rimuru and Wang Yimo came out of the cave. The next day, after a night of rest and the princess's healing, the purple-haired ogre could only be said to be mobile, but he could not participate in high-intensity combat. The group waited for the young master to decide where to go. I recall there being a goblin village to the south. The young master looked at the crude map, deep in thought. But judging from the direction that Majin Gloomid came from, it's very likely the south has already been controlled by them. We had better not go. This was the suggestion from Grandpa Sword Demon, who was aged and usually kept only one eye open. That makes sense. Then let's continue to gather the ones near the village first. Understood. X4. 5 people and 1 goblin set off once again, though it wasn't as relaxed as before, for it was foreseeable that the Juru Great Forest was about to fall into a dangerous vortex. Deep in the forest, in front of a towering tree, 3 dryads gathered together. Sister, Beldora has really disappeared. Yes, many powerful monsters in the forest are already restless, and there are also Majin of unknown origin. But Beldora-sama shouldn't have disappeared this early. I'm going to go see what's going on. I'll leave the forest to you two. The eldest dryad spoke. Understood. X2. If it really comes to it, I'll find a strong individual to help, the eldest dryad muttered to herself. The young master's group proceeded smoothly afterward, gathering a total of 7 goblin tribes. Including the previous ones, they had gathered over 1,000 goblins, with no fewer than 500 capable of fighting. Returning to the village, the ogre clan was busy arranging housing for the goblins and training them in combat. Well done, son. The village's upcoming plans can be a bit easier now. Father, I think we need to relocate as soon as possible. What's the matter, son? On the road, we encountered a Majin named Gloomid who claimed to be a subordinate of a demon lord. The young master recounted everything he had seen and heard that night. That is indeed somewhat dangerous, but we are the ogre clan. I believe in our people's strength, and you must believe in it too, son. No matter how powerful an opponent is, there will come a day when they are defeated. You must have the heart to strive toward becoming stronger. I understand, father. The young master began to reflect. Was he really being too pessimistic? After all, there were only 3 Majin. No matter how strong they were, could they really defeat his entire clan? In the afternoon, a massive amount of magicules surged from Beldora's cave. It seems there are still variables at Beldora-sama's location. The strong fighters of the ogre clan all sensed that surge of magicules. Is such a powerful individual a friend or a foe? Torani the Dryad prepared to go and observe personally. Tia, it seems your intuition was correct. Fortman said with a grin beside the campfire. Clayman-sama, do we need to go and check it out? Gloomid asked the crystal ball. No need. Let's go look elsewhere. Eventually, when facing this variable, it will either submit or be turned into nourishment. They were currently very close to the territory of the lizardmen. Inside the swamp cave, the lizardman King Avalul sat upon his throne, watching his ministers report. My king, Lord Beldora has disappeared. Shall we participate in the struggle for dominance over the forest? It is indeed a rare opportunity, but the ogre clan and the orcs will definitely be our rivals. Avalul pondered for a moment. My king, then let me go out and see what the situation is like in the outside world. This was Avalul's son. It is time for you to go out and see for yourself. Avalul expressed his approval. Father, we should also make preparations in case other races attack. This was Avalul's daughter. As you say, let us prepare accordingly. Young master, we have arrived. The 3 idiots had arrived, albeit late. Young master is the best. Young master is so cool. Oh, let's go. The 4 idiots set off. Leaving the damp cave and stepping onto the land of the Juru Great Forest was a first. After all, this was an adventure, not a stroll around their territory. The group of 4 set off, though one couldn't help but feel that something would go wrong. No, something would definitely go wrong. A moment later, a rampaging fire ant was chasing the 4 of them. To explain, fire ants are giant fire-breathing ants up to 5 meters long. Why have so many powerful monsters come out in the forest? Tears were streaming wildly from their eyes. Whoosh, boom. The fire ant's fireball flew over and exploded not far away. Ah! They ran even faster. Comedians are made from a young age. After running for 2 miles and getting far away from the fire ant's territory, seeing that the fire ant was no longer chasing them, the four sat down to catch their breath. Ah! Why is the Jura Great Forest so much more dangerous than before? Yeah, in the past, with Lord Veldora watching over it and the Dryads Lord Torani protecting it, high-level monsters never appeared on the outskirts. Ah, do we really need to come out and fight for dominance? There's no other way. We need to expand our territory, otherwise, our living space is too small. We were just unlucky. Not all monsters are that strong. The leaders of other monsters aren't even as strong as one of my tail scales. Young Master is so cool. Young Master is the best. Wahahaha. Roared Tilda. Ha 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 ha. Gah. What was that noise? The young master stood with his hands on his hips, covered in sweat, his body stiff and unable to move. Young master, look behind you. Creak, creak, creak. His head turned with a stiffness comparable to machinery. Looking back, he saw golden eyes, a large black furred tiger with hanging eyes, its body shining like dark iron, and white steam exhaling from its mouth. Drip, drip. It was the sound of drool. Gulp. It was the sound of swallowing saliva. Run. The young master commanded. The group of four transformed into parkour experts, running as fast as ever. Their bodies ran in front while their souls chased behind, not to mention the tiger behind them with its mouth open, ready to eat them. I have only one question. Why is everything chasing us? I also have one question. Why are we so unlucky? I have a better question. Why did we have to come out today? Stop asking questions and run. Ah. Roar. Woo woo woo. It was the sound of children crying. Snap. It was the sound of something breaking, bone and flesh alike. Come, eat. You won't be hungry anymore once you eat. A tall orc placed something unknown on the ground for the children to eat. My king, are you alright? The children from the day before yesterday have already died. Yesterday's children are on the verge of death, and the children born today are facing premature death. My king, this is not your fault. My clansmen cannot get food, yet I can regenerate infinitely. The orc looked at his silently regenerating arm and fell into sorrow. Even feeding his own body to the children was merely quenching thirst with poison. I am going to the Jura Great Forest. I will seek an opportunity. Whether it is Veldora or the Dryads, I will find a chance for my clansmen to eat. The Orc King made up his mind. My king, we will follow your decision. Looking at the endless desert, barren and devoid of grass, the harsh living environment determined the tragic living space of the orcs. Starving to death only meant becoming dinner for one's companions. Therefore, fratricide, exchanging children to eat, and mutual slaughter were the current situation of the orcs. As their king, he hoped to change this but had no way to start. Hey, your youngest son is dying, right? Do you want to swap with us? My second child has also reached his limit. Why is your second child failing so quickly? If this continues, you won't have anything left to swap. I don't want this either. He went hunting, got seriously injured, and didn't come back. Let's just let him die in peace. HMPH, our family is almost there too. If this goes on, we'll all be dead. It's fine. Before we die, leaving ourselves for the children to eat can be considered leaving behind a seed. This was just a conversation encountered on the road. Ah. Are you going to kill me just to eat? Big brother. Second brother. Third brother, we cannot survive anymore. I'm sorry. If I could, I wouldn't want to be an orc. Son, eat me. I am already old, there is no need for me to live. The kind middle-aged man said. I'm sorry, mother, I'm sorry. It's my fault, I'm useless. The young man wept as he knelt on the ground. Mother, I'm hungry. Is the meat ready yet? Almost ready, children. Just hold on a little longer. Where is Dad? Dad. He is here. The wife looked at the meat in the pot and shed painful tears. Yes, the husband she loved was right here. Cannibalism, true cannibalism. But what else could they do? If they didn't eat people, they couldn't survive. Under the cloak, what was hidden was pain, heartache, and pressure. Tears flowed from the king's eyes. It's the king. My king, would you like to have a bite to eat? You have food. My king, please don't ask. I see. Am I a useless king? This is not your fault. I will solve it. I promise you all, I will. With that said, he tore off an arm and gave it to the hungry child. Then we trouble you, my king. The kneeling people wept bitterly. The orc king kept walking, leaving the territory. He hadn't eaten anything, and hunger filled his brain. Hungry, starving to death. My people and I are all hungry. How can we be free from hunger? We must eat, we must devour. Notification. Acquired skill, Starver. Voice of the world, Starver. Can it help our clansmen be free from hunger? Gloomid noticed this guy. I didn't expect him to have the blessing of the voice of the world. It seems he is good material for a demon lord. You want to lead your clansmen to escape hunger? Then let me help you. My name is Gloomid. You can call me father. I bestow upon you the name Groot. If I can spare my clansmen from disaster, I am willing to trade with the devil. Let me bear all the sins. A light flashed, and Groot's body underwent a huge change. His figure became even taller, just one step away from being a demon lord seed. The Starver skill could cover all his clansmen, making them hungry and able to devour other monsters to evolve. Remember, I will send you to the position of demon lord, and then you will serve that lord. No matter what evil plan it is, I will do it. Your weapons and equipment will be provided by me. Go and attack, go and eat, go and evolve. The first target, assemble your orc army. The second target, attack the ogre clan to complete your first evolution. The third target, attack the lizardmen. Finally, go to the Jura forest to devour someone interesting, become an awakened demon lord, and serve my lord. Before this, the lizardmen young master and his group were already fighting the ghost tiger. Although their combat power was relatively poor, they had the advantage of being intelligent monsters and used their skills to constantly attack the ghost tiger. However, due to the large gap in strength, everyone except the young master was beaten to the point of being unable to take care of themselves. Is it going to end at this moment? Bang, bang, bang. A few magical blasts hit the ghost tiger, driving it away. Lizardman, you are about to have great luck. My name is Gloomid. I bestow upon you the name Gabble. Become the hero of the lizardmen. Gloomid watched all this, waited for the right moment, saved Gabble, and bestowed a name upon him. Lord Gloomid, I will not let you down. I will become a hero. Very good. I look forward to meeting you again. A glint flashed across Gloomid's glasses, making his intentions unreadable. Yes, Gabble will definitely do it. Gabble, with a look of gratitude, led his companions to kneel and kowtow. Gloomid had gathered a massive amount of weaponry and equipment as agreed. Groot, on the other hand, had assembled 200,000 orc warriors. My king, who are we going to fight? I do not know. I only know that this is the only way we can survive. Activate skill, Starver. A black and red wave of energy radiated from Groot as the center. In an instant, all the orcs' eyes turned red, and they lost their reason. Devour, hunger, I am so hungry. Eat him, eat him, eat him. Groot, set out. Devour everything in the Jura Great Forest, and you will not be hungry anymore, came Gloomid's voice. Advance. Groot waved his large hand, and the orc army began its march. Several orc generals led the way, commanding the army on the front lines. My king, is this truly your wish? The orc who had followed the orc king for years still wore his old attire. He had not been affected by Starver. 200,000 strong, a vast, boundless horde. This abnormal situation made the Western nations and Dworgen nervous. Observe first. See where they are heading, Gazel ordered his secret guards. More than 200,000 orcs devoured everything in their path, regardless of whether it was alive or dead, or what it was. Wherever they passed, it was like a swarm of locusts, they did not even spare their own kind. They were getting closer and closer to the Ogre clan's territory. Hey, is this for real? Ever since the Ogre clan and the goblins had joined forces, they had formed a patrol squad consisting of Ogre clan members and goblins. 2 Ogre clan members and a dozen goblins were completely stunned as they looked at the boundless army. Quick, go back and notify everyone. The reconnaissance squad rushed back to report the situation. What? An orc army. Led by the Orc King. 200,000. The ogre clan chief was also caught off guard. Was there a Majin with a bird beak mask? The young master asked the crucial question. It seems so, right beside the Orc King. It really is him. Don't think about it. Even if we surrender, we will still be harmed. It would be better to just fight him to the end, one clansman said. Indeed, we will not surrender. For now, we must focus on relocating the elderly and children. The chief intended to fight, but the weak should leave first. Go and take them away tonight. You lead the group. Father, I want to fight alongside you. Get your sister and the others settled first, then we shall see. Yes, father. It is a pity, your brothers are no longer with us. A flash of pain crossed the chief's face. The young master walked out of the tent, watching the busy clansmen outside, his heart heavy. He did not know how many would die, nor how many would survive. Young master, I have some news, a ninja reported. What news? There is news directly from the goblins. In the center of the Juru Great Forest, there are two powerful beings protecting them and providing them with names. The entire village's strength has increased significantly, and they have the assistance of the Direwolf clan. It is said that the Direwolf clan has evolved and renamed themselves the Storm Wolf. Is that so? It is a pity it is too late, otherwise, we could have combined our forces. Let us first get the elderly, the weak, the women, and the children out of here. Thus, the entire village began preparations for battle. The elderly were unwilling to leave, they were old, and they wanted to burn brightly one last time for the sake of the village. Only the children and those incapable of fighting had packed their bags. Before sunset, the small group prepared to leave. The entire village had deployed traps and defensive fortifications. They slowly led the group out via a small path from the village. The young master looked back at the chief, who nodded in response. The princess asked nothing, she was in the group, soothing the anxious hearts of the clansmen. The group had traveled for some distance when, just before the sun went down, a tremendous sound and ground tremors erupted from the direction of the village. 200,000 fully armed orcs. Every step they took on the ground was accompanied by unsettling tremors and the sound of footsteps. Clatter, clatter. It was the sound of armor colliding. Eat them, eat them. The whispering of 200,000 people sounded like ghosts claiming lives, causing one's hair to stand on end and sending shivers down one's spine. Gulp. Someone swallowed hard. Not far from the Ogre clan village, the orc army halted, formed battle lines, and stared fixedly at all the Ogre clan members and goblins. Eat them, eat them. The voices grew louder and louder. Are they saying they will eat us? The orcs began to stomp their feet and beat their shields with their weapons. Thump, 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 clack, clack, clack. The commotion created by 200,000 people was enough to scare some weak creatures to death. Thud. A goblin collapsed at the front of the line, scared to death. Hey, 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 is this for real? He died right at the front lines. The Orc King waved one arm, and the army began to move. Swish, swish, swish. Eat them. Fire arrows. Counterattack. The battle was imminent. 200,000 versus less than 1,800. Meanwhile, where the young master was, hearing the earth-shattering sounds of slaughter, he only wanted to join the battle. So, he had the princess and the ninja continue moving with the group. Young master, I want to fight too, said the same goblin. Then let us go together. The two of them ran back. Unbeknownst to them, some orc soldiers were tailing the Ogre clan refugees. Everyone, hold the line. Avoid being surrounded. Ogre King Flame. Ah. I don't want to die. Ah. Crunch, crunch, crunch. A group of orcs surrounded a corpse, eating the flesh. How could this be? How could it end up like this? Go to hell. An orc general raised his blade, preparing to finish off the chief. Clang. Father, run. I will hold them off for you. Why did you come back? I will not abandon you. Sword demon, he is in your hands. He grabbed the young master's sleeve and yanked him, pulling him out of the battle circle. Seeing this, the sword demon quickly cut down the orc soldiers in front of him and then came to the young master's side. Let's go, young master, otherwise it will be too late. Ya, ha. Another strong and sturdy ogre clan member broke through the heavy encirclement and reached the young master. He was covered in wounds, but he had a purple-haired individual on his back. A burst of flames drove them away. It was the chief. He had forced them out of the danger zone. Run. As long as you live, we will not be extinct. Father. Run. Uck. Before he could finish, a hand pierced through his body. Blood flowed freely, and he was tossed aside by that person. Father. In the flames, there were two masked figures, Tia and Fortman. Masked figures. Let's go, young master. The sword demon pulled the young master, and the big guy carried the purple-haired one on his back, quickly fleeing the scene. In the ogre clan village, besides the crackling of flames, there was also the terrifying sound of chewing, like a banquet from hell. The orc king had eaten the chief to increase his magicals, and the other orcs were also feasting heartily during the battle. The young master and his group followed the path the princess and the others had taken. They stopped at a place splattered with blood. This is not real. Tell me this is not real. On the ground lay numerous severed limbs, corpses that had not been fully eaten, and ogre clan members whose faces were still intact, bearing only terror and despair in their final moments. Where is the princess? Where is my sister? The young master was on the verge of a breakdown. Young master, we are fine. The ninja slowly emerged from the shadows with the princess. Sister. The young master hugged the princess, tears streaming down his face silently. It is okay, brother. We will be alright. I will take revenge on those Majin, on that Gloomid. The young master's eyes were clouded by hatred. The others were the same, for the sake of revenge, flames seemed to erupt from their eyes. But the priority now is to find a place to rest, or to find some allies. The princess was still rational. Let us go find those two powerful beings that the goblins spoke of, who have integrated most of the goblins in the south. I believe they will be willing to cooperate. The young master recalled what the goblin had said. Since it is cooperation, who will be in charge? The sword demon asked the crucial question. If they are stronger than us, they will lead. If they are weaker than us, we will lead. If they are unwilling, we will fight until they are willing, or we will rule the goblins ourselves. Then let us set out. The ninja spoke up. The ogre clan survivors collected and buried the bodies of their fallen comrades. After saying their goodbyes, they embarked on their journey. This is the second step. Next, the lizardmen. Gloomid smiled. Groot's evolution had met expectations perfectly. Tia, Fortman, please be careful of the Dryad's tyranny. After all, we demon lords have an agreement with Veldora not to invade the Great Forest. Clayman's voice came from the crystal ball. Leave it to us, Clayman. Yo-ho-ho-ho-ho. Fortman agreed with a laugh. That's the end of part 2. Part 3 is coming soon.
Thanks for watching my video. Please like and share it.